Let's just make sure. Good news is, well, I can see me and it's clear. So usually when that happens, usually we're good. So hang tight. Come on, YouTubes.
Still says upcoming online.
Well, it might be a few seconds delayed. Okay, good. Oh my gosh, you guys. I don't know. That's bizarre. You can see me, hon?
Yep, we got
Okay.
you.
Good thing they can't see you with your crazy hair. Your crazy bed head.
Hey,
Sticking straight up.
I got my sexy on.
Okay. All right. If that's what you call it, that's what we'll run with. Oh my goodness. Hi, guys. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Hang tight. Okay, there we go. Happy Saturday. How is everyone today? Oh, I'm doing peachy now that things are, I don't know. It's really weird. I think, well, this day, this Saturday, and then I can't remember if it was the one last weekend or the one before that. They all blend together, but same technical difficulty. And I've been doing this forever and a day, and it always, you always just do the same thing. So this time I do all the same things. And again, it just, for some reason, it's just was grayed out. So I don't know, but it doesn't really matter because we're here now. So welcome and happy Saturday to you. I'm going to check the chat. Well, actually, I shouldn't check the chat yet. We'll check the chat in a second. I will tell you, I am dying of heat. I don't know. I've got a fan here, and my sweater's like really, really thin. And this is even one of those like sleeveless shirts underneath. Yeah, I'm just dying. Anyhow, that's my own personal summer, even when it's like -8 degrees outside. So it is what it is. What do you do except for have a fan next to you? Next thing I'm gonna have to have one of those fans around my neck that blows in your face. And don't laugh because I do have one of those. You gotta do what you gotta do. Anyhow, welcome everyone. If you are new, welcome. My name is Layle and I have a business called Layle by Mail. When I am not traveling on Saturdays, we're here on my YouTube channel and we're doing something I like to call creative listing. So we do that in a traveler's notebook. If you are new to traveler's notebooks, there is a video that I can't, well, I can say this because I made it. I can't recommend enough. It is here on my YouTube channel and it's called Intro to Traveler's Notebooks. I give you an overview of what they are, the different sizes, and that's not super important, but it's just, if you're looking for a traveler's notebook, there's a little bit there that's important. And then I spend probably an hour showing you example after example after example of the many different things that you can do with them. So if you're new, I'd go check that out. But here on Saturdays, we do what I like to call creative listing. So I have been listing since I was probably, 5 years old, honestly. My Allison, if you're here, hello, my dear friend. She and I were chatting back and forth over email earlier this week and just talking about why we list. And we did a list about 2 years ago. Of why I list. And I think I'm going to pull that back around because as I started looking at my list back then, the reasons why I like to list, and I kind of compare those to the reasons why I like to list now. Some are the same, but some are different. Listing for a lot of people clears your brain, right? And it doesn't matter if you're making a grocery list or a to-do list, or you're making a creative list like we do. Clears your brain, takes some of the anxiety off for some of us. And there's also a proven scientific fact that when you have a to-do list and you check something off on that to-do list, releases a little tiny burst of dopamine in your brain. So it's like a natural drug and you get like a natural high. You're like, oh my gosh, look, I did something. So just watch for that to come around. That'll come back around in the next couple of weeks or so. We will do one of those. But when we're here on Saturdays, we do creative listing. I provide 3 listing topics, usually a couple of days before, and I pull out lots of different product and I play. Today, Terry, I saw that you're here. Terry's always my timekeeper for me when I have a hard stop. I have a hard stop today at 1, going to lunch with some girlfriends. So Terry, if you will help me remember, 1 o'clock I need to be out of here. Nick's going skiing, so he won't be my timekeeper. But if you would help me do that, I'd appreciate it. So we'll be on for about 3 hours today. Last week was a doozy. We did 5 hours and I just kept going. So you guys, this is an open house. That's what I like to refer to it as. Some of you are like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I'm late. There's no late. Well, there can be an early, but I'm not here early. So it's like an open house. You can come and go as you please. You can stay the entire time. You can come in at the end. What is unique about this, that's not like a regular open house, if you miss the open house, you can always come back and watch the replay at any time. So a lot of the products I used, you'll find on my website. So in the description box of the video, you'll find a link that says products I'm using. and lots of those that you can find. So if you're looking for something that I am working with, then that's where you can find it. There's a live chat that takes place. As I'm live, there's a live chat that takes place. So some of you, that's how I interact with, which I love. I love it when you guys pop in the chat, especially when you're new. And I think I saw someone when I was trying to figure out the whatever technical issues we were having, we was having. I think Jean, was it Jean McDonald? Did I see? Did she say she's new? So anyone that's new, I have a huge soft spot in my spot in my heart. I have a huge spot in my heart for you because I love new people, especially if you are brave enough, and I know that sounds weird, but if you're brave enough to pop in the chat and say hello. You don't have to be brave. It's a wonderful group, super friendly bunch. It's also super helpful. So if you're new, welcome. I'd love it if you pop in the chat and say hi. That chat sometimes goes pretty quickly. So if you make a comment and it was something that you wanted me to respond to, like a question, and if I missed it, don't be shy. Please ask again. If you put your question in all uppercase, then I tend to see it. So now I'm going to look at the chat really quick and just see who we have here. Hi, Shay. Ooh, Rhonda's got a project. Rhonda's got a project, said, good morning, everyone. I just saw I won a giveaway. Rhonda's got a project. Did you win one today? I had two winners today. Well, we'll talk about that in a sec. Hi, Carla from Arkansas. Robin. Oh, Carla and Robin, one right below each other from Arkansas. Emmy's everything. Just picked up some of my goodies from 3 Craft Chicks. I love that. You guys, I have some of my products are available in couple of different craft stores. One is 3 Craft Chicks up in Spokane, Washington. My friend Michelle and Lauren, my friends Michelle and Lauren, mother-daughter duo. And then my friend Lizzie Lou has carried some of my things when I've been teaching, and she's gonna, I think, start carrying them in her store going forward. So love it, love it, love it. Yes, you guys, I see some squirrels. I see some squirrels popping up in the chat. If you didn't know, I have a little mascot. His name is Scatter. And he doesn't really look like this, but this is, long story. He popped up out of COVID one day. But today is National Squirrel Appreciation Day. So we're going to have a little bit of fun with that today. Because look at, not only is there Big Scatter, but I picked these little guys up. Look at these little guys. So part of the little giveaways today, 2 people will win as part of their prize, not just these, but one of these little baby scatters. All right. So anyhow, let's see. Hi, Linda May. Good morning, Joanne from Northern California. Hi, Dandy. Dandy's asking if there's any other people from Calgary in the house. I know we always have lots of Canadians. So any Calgarians? Is that how you say it? Calgarians? Calgarians. Canadian Calgarians. Annie is here from New Zealand. It is 6 a.m. I love it. She said it's 6 a.m. Sunday, not Saturday. She said she was determined to join us, and she has coffee in hand. So very, very nice to have you. Hi, Terry, Lollipop Guild. Hello. Hi, Cindy. TK is finishing her All About Last Month for December. Can't wait for the class for 2023. Yes, the 2023 Year in Review class. That is taking place the end of this month, end of January. So if you bought that kit, you should have information about that class. And if you didn't buy the kit, well, it's still available and there's still time for you to get it before class. Even if you get it after, you can always watch the class at any time. Let's see. Oh, look, Britta is from Calgary too. So a couple Calgarians. Debbie said hello from Chile, Oklahoma. She's in her jammies, ready to get crafty. Wonderful. Roberta said she has a Beanie Baby squirrel on her desk. You know what I should have done? You know what? I'm going to borrow part of a prize really quick. I'm going to borrow part of a prize very quickly, so hang on. Don't worry. Whoever wins this part of the prize will, I'll get you a new fresh one. But I should. Now, I need to remember to take this off before I go to lunch, just because I will feel extremely silly if I have this on my sweater when I go to lunch. See, I needed to put that right there. But, ooh, can I do this? I don't know. Let's try it. While we're doing this, friends, why don't we talk? What I really need is Nick in here to help me. Oh, well, it's not going to happen. I'm going to flip the camera soon anyway. If I had thought about that beforehand, it would have been good, but I didn't, so that's okay. Should have your squirrel shirt. Oh my gosh, Terry, I should. Now here's the thing. I don't, because literally as soon as I'm done, I have to run out the door to go meet my friends for lunch. I even have like my shoes on and everything. Like I am ready to roll. I have a couple of gifts in the car that are already in there, ready to go. Like I'm seriously ready to roll as soon as we turn off. So, but I should. Next year I will do that. Hi, Margie. Margie is from Canada. Margie, every time I see your name, it makes me think of your rum chata. Your rum chata and Margie. I've never had it. I don't know how, but that's what I think of when I think of you, Margie. Put it on my collar. Oh, I could. All right, let's keep chatting. Okay, friends, so why don't we chat? Well, I tried to get it on my collar. Why don't we chat about giveaways? So we have 2 winners from last week. Whenever we're together, I always do giveaways. Gabby.
Yeah, I was coming to help you.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Nick could hear me. Oh, I'm trying to get this on.
I know.
I know, I can't. You guys, I mean, I have many talents. Talking and doing something at the same time, not one of them.
You got it?
Yes, thank you, honey. Okay, yes, that was a great idea. Put it on my collar. There we go. Rum chata and root beer is the bomb. Too funny. Gabby, I saw your question. She's asking about a backpack that I had shared before that sounds like it's no longer available. Let me think about that. Hi, Karen. Mostly Mandy just got their first snow of the winter in Nova Scotia. First snow? Wow. Now, when you say winter, oh, January 21st. No, December. Never mind. Blonde. Never mind. I won't even tell you what entered my head. I know we're in the winter solstice, and I know that started on December 21st, not January 21st, so don't mind me. That's what I thought you meant, because I was confused, Mandy, of how you live in Canada. How do you first have your first snow in the winter? Okay. Yes, Terry's going to remind me about the time clock, and then also remind me to take off my little scatter before I go. Usually get it November, but you're very late. Okay. Okay, friends, here we go. Let's talk about our giveaways. So I always do giveaways when we are together. The way that you participate in a giveaway, I ask you to leave a comment on the video when it's over, not in the chat. There's too much that goes on in the chat, too hard for me to keep track of. So I ask you to leave a comment on the video when it's over. And you can do that anytime between when it's over and the morning when we're getting together again. In this case, we are not getting together again until Saturday, February 11th. Okay, I am out of town traveling the next 2 weekends. So we won't be together until Saturday, February 11th. We almost weren't even doing that one because I get in late that night, the night before, Friday night, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't not. We've got to do it. So you'll have 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't know, however long that is, 3 weeks between and today and before the 11th to leave a comment. And that's how I draw prizes. Just randomly, I just scroll, and wherever my finger stops, that's how you win. So we had 2 winners from last time. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, you know what? I think we might need to do 3 prizes today. I think we're gonna do 3 prizes today. I just need to make a note in my handy dandy notebook, because if I don't, I will forget. Although I know you guys will help me remember. Let's see. Because I'm gonna do one of the prizes live, okay? I'm gonna do one of the prizes live, because that's always fun to do when we do a live prize. When I do a live prize, that means I do that through the chat. So just kind of keep that in mind, and you'll never know when it's going to happen. And I just pick a comment. I mean, I don't even pick a comment. I just point at the chat, and wherever my finger stops, that's the person that wins. So just kind of keep that in mind. But it'll be a little while. So, oh yes, prizes from last week. So there were 2 prizes from last week. The first one was a parasol prize pack. So kind of an assortment of prizes from the parasol collection. I used the parasol collection last week in one of my lists. These are not used. These are new. And the comment that was random that I picked was from Sexy Feet, which was so funny because we talked about her last week. Sexy Feet has been doing my classes for a while now, and once in the chat, in one of the bi-monthly Traveler's Notebook classes, I think I said, I just have to ask you, like, what does that mean? I mean, you know, really, how come your YouTube name is Sexy Feet? She said, oh, I'm a podiatrist. So our friend Sexy Feet, the podiatrist, won the parasol bundle. So congratulations. The second prize is the Scatter alphabet stamp bundle. So Scatter Alpha, you have the lowercase and the uppercase. So that is a bundle. They're also available, you know, either in lowercase or uppercase. But the person that won that was Teazen Tweet, TEZNTWEET. So maybe that's the person that said they won. Teazen Tweet and Sexy Feet, and then there's some numbers after that. I left you a comment, or I replied to your comment, and it just tells you what you need to do to claim your little prize. All right, friends, I think we're ready to roll, okay? I think we're ready to roll. I am going to rotate the camera, turn on the studio lights, and then we'll be ready to play, okay? Okay. Tracy said she loves the Alpha, uses it all the time. Tracy, I would love to see how you use the Alpha. I want to see. You should post it. You should post something that you do with it in the Layle by Mail Facebook group. Hi, Jessica. My friend Jessica's here. Jessica, hello. I love it when my friends pop in totally unannounced, and I mean that 100%. I'm not like trying to, you know, be like a passive aggressive, not at all. But every once in a while, my friends just pop in, and I love. Oh, Tease and Tweet. Good job, Rhonda. Congratulations. Thanks, Colleen. I just plugged it in. Thanks for the reminder. Anyhow, you guys, Jessica is my friend that we realized, I don't know, a couple of years ago, we kind of reconnected because we realized that we had met, oh my gosh, forever and a day ago, like back when I worked for Scenic Route, like back in not 19, oh my gosh, no, like 2004, I think we figured out. Anyhow, Jessica owns a company called Colorcast Designs, and she does amazing acrylics. I'll just show you one of them because, hang on, because I had her design one custom for me for, oh, whoops. I just held that up to the camera, not below. I had her design one custom for me for the 2023 year in review Traveler's Notebook Project Kit. But yes, that is, that's Jessica from Colorcast Designs. So if you don't know Colorcast Designs, you should go check them out. So thanks for popping. I mean, I love it when you pop in, Jessica. And I like to, you guys know, I love to support small women-owned businesses because I'm one, and Jessica is one too. Jessica's in Colorado. All right, guys, so now, oh, I love what Mindy said. Mindy just said, yes, posting on the Facebook group is so encouraging and helps others see new uses. Absolutely, and I love to see too how you guys use things. Jean, look at Jean said, love, love, love Colorcast. Jean, did I get that right before? Did you pop in at the very beginning before I got all discombobulated with the technical issues? Seeing that you were new. Okay, so let's take a look at our list from last week. Now, there was one I said I was going to finish, and there was another one that I said I was going to do. Do you think those happened? No. There's been lots of crazy designing going on here, and then lots of filling of orders. So I didn't get those things finished, but I will. So we'll just get to them at one point, or I will. So for our list last week, we did 3. Our first list was things I learned in 2022. So always this time of year, we kind of for the first couple of weeks of January do kind of a 2022 recap or the end of year recap. So as we look at this, we had things I did well this year in 2022. We did a things I'd like to forget about 2022, right? Let's just wrap that up, tie it in a bow and set it off to the side, the things we want to forget. In there, I worked my December about last month. And then about last year. So we spend a couple of weeks tying up with a nice little ribbon and a bow the past year. The last one that we did last week was things I learned in 2022. And this is Parasol. I used the Parasol collection to put together this list. Joy said she got her happy mail yesterday. Wonderful. Kino Queen said, I want to play with paper again. Guess what? Kino Queen, do it. Do it. You can do it. All right. Next up after that one was in the news for December. So we used my In the News December stamp set. We did a little bit of coloring on the typewriter. So I stamped the typewriter on a plain piece of cardstock using a green, and then fussy cut that, and then colored in the typewriter keys with a one of the Tim Holtz watercolor pencils, and add a little washi and a die cut, and that one was good. Done. Not good. Oh, actually there were two that I was going to finish. Whoopsie. The last wrapping up of 2022 was a trends. So I think this is always fun to wrap up trends and talk about just different trends. And we had some fun with that. Like we had a long discussion about ASMR, the autonomous sensory meridian response. And those are the videos. This would be an example of one. If I wasn't talking at all and you'd hear, you'd just hear things like that. So for some people, it's more that ASMR is more, gives you like goosebumps or tingles. But anyhow, we just talked about lots of different trends. And I listed about different trends, different colors, like the Pantone color of the year, the dictionaries, usually a couple of different dictionaries every, the end of every year come out with a word of the year. We talked about butter boards for quite a while because those were a trend. I still need to add a little bit more about ASMR here to fill up this space, and then that will be done. And there I did use those scatter alpha, upper, and lowercase letters. The other thing that I was going to finish, which I have not yet, I had talked about doing a tip in here. So I will use a little bit of washi to adhere or insert this piece of paper. So it is partially on the page and then partially on the paper. I'm going to stamp a quote on here. And the quote, because my handy dandy notebook will remind me of what that quote is. Somewhere, Bueller. Oh, here we go. Never stop learning because life never stops teaching. So that's kind of a fun quote. I thought that is applicable to things I learned in 2022. So those were my three lists. The last list that I will need to finish up, and that will go right here, is my In the News for the entire year. So what I'm going to do, actually, this is something new that I haven't had a chance to put up on the website yet, but I'm going to, I'll probably add it today. These, look at these. These are clear, kind of transparent, translucent sticky notes. So when you see that on there, you can't even see it, right? You can't even see it's there, but I can come on and now I can write In the News 2022 right there. And then when I am ready to do that list, I will do it. And then that little guy can just come right off. What's neat about those sticky notes is that there I put on a plain sheet, but look, I can even put them, oops, I didn't let that dry enough. I used my Sharpie, but it was still a little bit wet, so I didn't let it dry enough because I tested them yesterday to make sure all the pens would work. Some of them you need to let dry first, but you can use that and still see on top of whatever you're putting it on. Okay, but now I need to put that back there so I don't forget. Alrighty. So we're going to start with our first list of today. This needs to go off to the side or that's going to cause me problems because it's going to continue to fall out. Our first list for today is focus. I know, Dandy, aren't those fun? Those clear sticky notes. So our list for today, our first list for today is called Focus. And it is a list of things that I'm going to focus on in 2023. Some of you may have in the past, or even now, done something with, in our world, like in the crafting world, Allie Edwards is definitely known for this, her one little word. So some of you pick a one little word, or some people say a one little word picks you, and it's something that you focus on for the year. A couple of years ago, I chose the word focus, and it just really kind of resonated with me. It was actually, I know how many years ago. It was 4 years ago. It was like 4 years ago right now. Because I had made the really difficult decision that I was going to leave Simple Stories after working there for 6 years, and I was going to turn my side hustle, Layle by Mail, into a full-time gig. And I had made the decision, but I had not communicated it to anyone. And so my mantra was like focus. I've just got to focus on the things that I need to get done until I'm kind of announce that move and then I begin that transition. So that one little word for me was super helpful that year because it just helped kind of ground me. And that word focus has stuck with me ever since. So for the last, I think this will be the third year, in the beginning of 2023, beginning of every year, I do a list called Focus. And it is a list of things that I am going to focus on for the coming year. It's a little bit less pressure in my head than a resolution. Resolutions have, I think, just they can have such a bad connotation just because there's just feels like there's a lot of pressure. And you think you have to set all these resolutions, and then if you don't meet them, then you failed. So for me, focus is just things that I want to focus on over the year. I'm not resolving that I'm going to lose 48 pounds and 12 inches, and I'm going to, my shoe size is going to change from 9 to 6. And I mean, I'm not going to resolve to do any of those things. I'm just focusing on a couple of areas in my life that I would like to improve upon. So that is the idea behind this list. And this year, after doing this for the list for 2 or 3 years, I finally said, hey, you know what? I really should have where is it, Layle? Hang on. Where is it? Okay. It should, look it. Here's my little envelope. Focus. Where's my stamp set? Here it is. There we go. So, most of my products that I create are based on necessity. So if I create a stamp set, it's because I'm like, oh my gosh, it would be really helpful if I had that stamp set as I'm working on my lists. So this is as part of my latest release of stamps. This one is called Focus. And as you can see, big word focus, big alphas. So the alphas are fun because they are great for your list to use with this stamp set, but also the same stamp set I used to do those letters for the year 2022. So those are super versatile. And then you just have lots of little different words and phrases that you could mix in. So you have, and so the adventure begins, make it happen, fun, focus on, focus with, balance, find, travel, work, your, good things, get it done, friends, the details, you've got this, note to self, documented, family. So just a really versatile stamp set that even if that part isn't your thing, you don't want to focus on anything per se, you have a great stamp set that works for all different kinds of other things, super versatile. But that is the stamp set that I'm going to use for this list. Now I will tell you, just like with resolutions, if you don't kind of check in with yourself on a semi-frequent basis throughout the year to make sure that you are still on track with the things that you wanted to focus on, or maybe you need to change the things that you're focusing on, kind of hold yourself accountable. I am going to have you guys help hold me accountable that I'm continuing to focus on my things on my list throughout the year. So we will be doing, I'm not sure if it'll be every month or every 6 weeks or every 2 months, we'll see, but I will be doing a list on repeat throughout the year, just looking at 1 or 2 of those things on my list and just listing the things that I'm doing to continue to focus on those things. So I think that'll make sense once we get started. All right, so I have my stamps. I am going to use, on 2 of my lists today, I'm going to be using products from Stardust. If you were with me on Wednesday night when I did What's New Wednesday here, I showed all the Stardust products. The Stardust collection actually has been around since the fall, but I held on to it. I had it physically here, but I didn't put it up on my website until recently because to me, it didn't seem like a collection it seemed to me like it'd get lost in the fall because it's not a fall collection at all. It's just a super great kind of all-purpose, all-around, really cute icons and fun colors and bright and cheery. And I thought I'm going to wait till the beginning of the year when we need something that's kind of fun and bright and cheery. So that is what I will be using. in addition to these stamps. So I need to get ready to stamp. I need to grab my little stamping box here that has my base tools in it. I want to use that one. And I have my stamping block. I have my pencil board. I have my eraser for priming, and then I have some wipes. So that is what, those are the basic tools when I am getting ready to stamp that I always like to pull out. So let's move these things off to the side. I also need to pull out a piece of scratch paper, okay? Beach Gal said, question, I love the font in this stamp set. Any chance there's an alpha stamp set in this font coming? Yes, Beach Gal, it is on the list. It is on the list. It will not be part of the February. So there will be a new stamp release end of February. It won't be part of that one. It will be part of the next one. So probably the April, May timeframe. But I know it's just, that's such a good classic font. I agree. Alrighty, so I have my little scratch paper here, and my scratch paper just ends up being in a book. Oh, while I have this one out, here and here, those are washi that are part of the Stardust collection. This is called Stardust Conversation, right? Look at that. And then this is just the regular Stardust. We went through that on Wednesday, on What's New Wednesday. Okay, so now get this out. Let me get the focus stamp out. So I don't think I've used this set before. I mean, I know I've used it before, but not this particular one that's in my hand. Oh, part of it I have. All right, so stamping block. I need to make sure that I'm grabbing one that is wide enough. That is not wide enough. So I'll go to my large one here. In a pinch, if you do not have multiple sizes of your stamping blocks, and you have a pencil board. The pencil board was designed to also be used as a large stamping block if you need. That's why you have the grid marks on the pencil board. Not its primary use. We'll talk about its primary use in a minute, but it works for that too. So let me just set these off to the side and get this on my, I'm gonna just lay it out right there, and then put it right, oh no, that's upside down. All right, and we'll put it right there. And so I pick it up where I want it to be. All right, that should work. Okay, so this is a brand new stamp. I have not used this particular stamp before from this particular set. So what I need to do is I need to prime the stamp first. There are a couple of different ways that you can prime a stamp. Number one, you could just start stamping with it. Now, that's going to take you a little bit more time because this is what is going to happen when you do that. In this particular case, I had not primed the stamp ahead of time. So all I did was start stamping. A really good example of what happens when you do that and why you want to prime a stamp first is, can you see those fives? I'm going to try to pull that up really, really close. Do you see that first five? It looks like the ink is kind of pooling in some places and is not filled in other places. Then I re-inked it and stamped again. So better in some places, now not so good in some places. Stamped again, still having that same issue. It took me 4 times to stamp with that same stamp before I got a nice, good, even impression. Then beyond that, it's good. It's been primed. I should be able to just now stamp it. I don't have to prime every time. But if you choose to just prime by stamping like I did on a piece of scratch paper, it's going to take you a little bit more time. Another thing that you can do is just take a clean eraser. So that is a white block eraser. I sell these on my website. I only use this white block eraser for priming my stamps because I don't want to have this get all yucky and gunky with like pencil marks with the graphite and then be rubbing that also on top of my stamp. So I can just gently kind of go over the top of those letters. The reason why I need to do that, photopolymer stamps have a super thin, like microscopic, invisible layer on them. And if you've ever stamped before, and used a brand new stamp, and notice that the impression just isn't very good. The ink is kind of in some places and not in others. That's because of that clear coating that is there. So you really should prime your stamps first. Doesn't have to be with an eraser. Like I said, you can just prime that with, you can prime it with just by stamping, but don't prime it. Don't start stamping on your project right off the bat without it priming first in one way or another, because you will end up with maybe not the look that you're going for because of that thin layer. Whenever I'm stamping, I always try to remember. Now I always stamp or test stamp first. The reason I test stamp first, well, a couple reasons. Number one, I want to make sure that it's straight, on the block straight, like Jenny on the block, but stamp on the block. That was funny, huh? Now I'm totally sidetracked by that. I was trying to sing it in my head. All right, there we go. So I want to make sure I have it straight on the stamp block. I want to make sure I like the color. Now in this case, I'm using black. So in this case, I'm using black, so I know I like the color because that's the color that I wanted to use. But do you see here, I got lots of good ink over here. I didn't quite get it inked up enough well there. That's another reason for testing first. So you can make sure that you're ready to go. Everything looks good before you actually stamp on your project. So I need to ink that up a little bit more. The other thing is, if you were using alpha stamps, you are a very brave person if you are stamping without testing first. Number one, if those are all individual letters, that's 5 letters that I want to make sure are straight. And if I don't test stamp first, I'm not going to pick that up. But number two, it's a really good idea. Do your test stamp first and make sure that things are spelled correctly, right? You want things to be spelled correctly before you stamp on your project. All right, so I think I'm ready to go. I am going to bring in my insert and I need to grab my pencil board. So a pencil board is really nothing other than a, excuse me, flat surface for you to stamp on. When you are stamping in a traveler's notebook, you kind of run the risk, since you can't take the page out, you run the risk, hang on, I'm gonna pull this a little bit closer to myself. I'm not going to be quite straight there, I can already tell. You run the risk of your stamped impression being broken up by a page that was underneath it. So if you had something lumpy or bumpy, even if you just had even like a little die cut, which is really thin, if you had that on the page underneath, page behind, your stamped impression could be affected by that. Because you can't take a page in your traveler's notebook out because it's all connected together. If you could take it out, you then have a flat surface to stamp on. But since you can't do that, we're giving ourselves a flat surface to stamp on by using our pencil board, okay? So that is that's what a pencil board is for, a flat surface to either stamp on or write on. Now, I can tell, I think what happened here, because look it, I've got the same thing going on here as I did when I stamped over here. I have a feeling I probably did not prime my F enough. Everything else was good. I probably did not prime my F enough. And I don't know if you can see that. There is nothing wrong with that at all. For me, I like a really solid impression, but I can fix that very easily. I can fix that super easily by coloring it in. Diane said, Q, is your pencil board thinner than the Tim Holtz stamp block you used at one time? It is, my pencil board is 1/8 inch thick. Okay, so I don't know if it's that same thickness or not. I'd have to get it out and see, but it's 1/8 inch thick with your rounded corners. By the way, these don't come navy. My logo and scatter and then the grid on the back is etched into the back. So when you etch an acrylic, it's white. So I just use some regular plain old cheap from Walmart acrylic paint and I put it on the back finger paint and then right away rub it off with a dry paper towel. And then that's how you see like the navy edge line. So then it makes it easier to use, I think. The way I'm going to fix this, the space in my F, I'm just going to bring in my little black pen here. And I can color that in. Another tip, so let's say that this was a different color. Let's say this was, I don't know, peach. I don't know why I said peach, but let's pretend that was a different color. And I don't have a marker that's that color. I can take a Q-tip and I won't do this on this one, but basically I can put my Q-tip in the ink and then come back in and paint in that section to make it a little bit more full. If you're using, for example, like Tim Holtz Distress inks, you could come back in. If the ink that you've used has a coordinating watercolor pencil that goes with it, then you could come back in and color. You can come back in and color that in. One thing as I'm just coloring this in that is super important to think about when you are stamping, especially with this stamp set. Excuse me. This stamp set has a large surface area to it, right? I mean, that F and the O and the C and the U, all the letters have a pretty big surface area on each of the letters, which means you're going to have a pretty dark impression, even if you're using something, you know, fairly light, even if you're using like a yellow. I bring that up because you always need to pay attention to the past. And what I mean by that is you can't change the past. So if I am here and I've made this beautiful list over here and I did my list directly on the paper, now I've created a little bit of problem for myself because dark ink, a lot of surface area on the stamps. Can you see how that has ghosted through or shadowed through? I can see focus now on this side shadowing through or ghosting through. You didn't do anything wrong that way. There's really no way to prevent that other than either not doing any stamping here or making sure that, and I knew I was okay before I did this because I will be doing my about last year list right here. So I'll be covered right here. I won't see those things. So always pay attention before you start stamping to whatever happened in the past. You can change the future, right? If my list was here, I can change the future and not do this list right here, but I can't go back and change the past. So that's something that's really important. I can't tell you how many of you have come back to me later and said, oh my gosh, I totally ruined the list here because I forgot what you told me about then stamping here. So kind of remember that. That's a good one to remember. I am going to just do my quick little outlining right here because that's what I always do. How is everyone today as we're working? How are you? Are you working with me today? Are you listening? If you're in the chat, you can answer me. If you're watching the replay, well, you can answer me. You just have to answer me in a comment. I'm just curious. What's everybody doing today? What are you doing? What are you working on? Are you working? Some of you tell me that you're working. Some of you tell me that you're cleaning the house. Some of you tell me that you're driving and just listening, right? Scrapinology said, hi, y'all. Gina here. Hi, Gina. Cute sweater, Layle. I love hearts and Valentine. Thank you. It is a very loose Valentine sweater, loosely themed Valentine because it's navy and white, right? And then you have kind of big circles breaking up all the little hearts. But yeah, kind of fun. Okay, so there we go. I have picked 5 things. That's what I've done every year. I pick 5 things to focus on. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will be using, oh, before I say that, I need to clean off that stamp set first, or the focus stamps first. Carly said she's listening. Robin is trying, oh my goodness, guess what? Nick? What? Will you run downstairs in the linen closet and get me another pack of those baby wipes? Thanks, honey. Out of baby wipes. That's normally what I use and when I'm filming to clean that. So we'll just put that up to the side for a second. Oh yes, my numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we are. Now I had already. Ooh, that's a good thing to bring up. I had already primed my 2 last week because I used it on my list for 2022. But I can see right here, I have a little piece of lint or a little hair, like a little fuzz that was stuck to the back of that too. That is another reason why you want to test your stamps first before you actually stamp on your project. Because if I had stamped that, not realizing that was there, when I pulled the stamp up, my two would have a little line in it from the piece of hair or fuzz that that was in the way. That was really on the stamp. So I need to do our little one here first. And one will fit on there. Let's see. Mindy's organizing her distress inks. I love it. Hang on, I missed all kinds of things. Jessica is going to be crafting with friends in a bit. Oh, I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. We're talking about acrylic paint. Yeah, pretty forgiving, but if you're doing that either on like my self-centering rulers, zero centering rulers, or on the acrylic pencil board, you want to wipe it with a dry paper towel, and you wipe it just after. There aren't? Not in the, how? Okay, will you bring me a couple of damp paper towels? And will you add baby wipes to the grocery list? Sorry, guys. No, I'm all, I'm squirreling. It's okay. It's all good. What did I just say? I don't know. I don't remember what I was saying. I'm just reading now. Christine's eating her lunch, sent back to work on a big project. Laura said she's working with us for the first time. You usually watch. I love it. I love it. I love it. Deborah's creating a list digitally, but watching to see what I do. Yeah. You know what, you guys, I always say, you can have, there's really only two things you need to make a list. Only two. Something to write with and something to write on. All this other stuff I use is just fluff, but it makes me happy, right? It makes me happy to play with the different things. So that's what I do. But really, something to write with, something to write on, and you're good. Thanks, hon. All right, let me just clean this really quickly because that's black. And if I set something on top of that, then I'm going to get black on whatever happens to accidentally go on top of that. Ugh. Yeah, a little bit too damp there. Oh well, beggars can't be choosers, right? Yeah. Okay. My one. Before I pick the colors, I need to figure out what is going to go on this list. So there's going to be a lot of writing on this list. I'm going to go vertical. I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I will go vertical, and then I'll be explaining what those things are in kind of vertical columns. So I won't be doing a ton of decorating on here. There's not going to be a lot of room for decorating. There was a sticker that I saw the other night when I was showing this collection that I just loved. Oh yes, Ms. L, thank you. How to add paint to your pencil board. Little tiny dab. Your acrylic paint goes really far. So a little dab, finger paint or gloves if you prefer, along the back, get all those little things. And you need to work pretty quickly because acrylic paint dries pretty quickly. And then dry paper towel and dry erase. So basically rub off all the excess paint with your paper towel. That way your paint is going to stay in the grooves, and then you'll have wiped it off from the top. I say dry paper towel versus wet. If you use a wet paper towel, the wet paper towel may pull some of the ink out of those grooves. So it's quick, and it's you really can't mess it up, right? If you didn't get enough on, put more on. If you got a lot on, just keep wiping it off. But I would have scratch paper around when you do it, paper towels around, because if you're like me, the first couple times you were doing it, you make a giant mess. All right, I need to prime my little one first because I have not used it yet. Oh yes, I also wanted to use, I loved this. I love that sticker. So I think I'm going to use that sticker. And that's probably going to be really the only, I don't know, I might use a couple of other small stickers, but I'm going to use that sticker. And I need 5 colors because I'm 1 through 5, and that little stamp or that little sticker happens to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. So that's what I'm going to use. Let me get out my swatches. So my inks are swatched. I use almost exclusively Tim Holtz Distress Oxides. I prefer the oxides because for me, I call them a juicy ink, and that's just my terminology, but they're a pigment-based ink that usually gives me a really nice, good, solid stamped impression. So that's what I like to use, and I sell a good assortment of those on my website. But I have used my Swatch This Inks stamp set to swatch all of my inks because right now I'm looking for colors that will coordinate or match the colors in that sticker, right? I know I need an orange. I could either pull all of my inks out and then pull one at a time my oranges out to see which one works, or I can just get out my little swatches and go to the orange area and say, what's it going to be? I bet it's going to be carved pumpkin. Carved pumpkin's pretty damn cool. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I meant to say darn. Oh golly. You guys, okay. I swear in real life, right? I do. It is what it is. I swear in real life, but it is very important to me that I do not swear on camera. So I am so sorry. Oh, I hope there were no little ears watching. I mean, listening, watching. Sorry about that. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I guess it is what it is. Oh, Kino. Now I know Kino Queen is now so disappointed. I'm sure you guys all thought I was perfect, and now I've just completely blown that whole perception out of the water. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, here we go. So carved pumpkin. Next one, I need 2 pinks. I'm looking for 2 pinks. I know, Carmen said I should have the Utah lingo down. I do. Oh my heck. And gosh darn it. And darn, I do have the Utah lingo down. Believe me, I've lived here since I was in 4th grade. It's just, when it's just me, myself, and I swear. And that's it, is what it is. All right, so spun sugar is going to be another one. So let me get that one out. Can't believe I did that, ding-a-ling. Oh yeah. Yeah, I have perfected my Utah lingo, but sometimes it slips out. Okay. Ooh, the next one. You know what? Saltwater taffy or kitsch flamingo. I think I'm going to pull both of those. We'll see when we get there what we think we want to use. So saltwater taffy and kitsch flamingo. Those are right next to each other. And then, so this is interesting. The next one, that is actually like a silver holographic foil. But when I lay it down, it kind of looks like a blue. So I am going to pull a blue, and we'll just pick a blue that I think I might like to use. I think that's going to be a little, prize ribbon's going to be a little bit too dark. Salty Ocean, maybe. Oh no, Broken China. I think we'll go with the Broken China. Let's try Broken China. And then, there we go. Unless, maybe, I just wanted to maybe switch it up a little bit. We'll see. And then a green. Maybe Mowed Lawn? Let's look. Red, orange, yellow, green. Here we go. Mowed Lawn. Mowed Lawn is a little bit less green than what you see there, but I think I like Mowed Lawn. We're going to go with Mowed Lawn. So those are the colors I am going to use. And I think we will just do them in that order. That one. Then we have, oh, what did I decide was next? Was it spun sugar is next? Okay. Oh, I bet we need to go, okay, just real quick. Real quick. Let me double check saltwater taffy again. Saltwater taffy. That could work. That's last. And then maybe we do that. How about that? That just kind of mimics our little rainbow right there. I think that's what we're going to do. Kino Queen, stop. You're fine. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I tell you, I know better. I know better, but sometimes it just comes out. It comes out. And if you are watching and you're no longer here, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. All right, here we go. Yes, Jean, I have a bit of a potty mouth. I'm not proud of it, but yeah. All right, so here we go. I'm going to start with number 1 with my carved pumpkin, and I am going to test it, right? Always test it first. Now I'm still very warm from earlier, Now I'm probably even more warm after that little scenario I just put myself in. I'm sure my cheeks were very red when I did that. I was like, oh no, Mr. Bill. Whoopsie. Okay. Diane, I only swear when I'm driving in the car by myself, obviously at other drivers. There we go. Okay, one's looking good. So, oh yes, I should have probably done this ahead of time, but I didn't. I need to, let me see. I want that to be about 1, 2, 3, one before, this is where I want it to be. Hang on. I actually have already done a version of this list. And that's what I'm measuring up against. So that is my line of how wide I want those to be. The reason I've already done a version of this list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so I need to start about right here. And it is going to be about 3.5 centimeters wide. The reason I've already done a version of this list, if you happen to have this stamp set already, on the back, there has to be an example on the packaging. So there we go. All right. So like I said, about 1 3/4 wide. And then in between, I have about, not 1 3/4. Sorry. If you're doing this with me, about 3.5 centimeters wide. And then in between, about 1/2 centimeter between each list, or yeah, between each little item. So here we go, about right there. And then I can start over here, about 1/2. So I counted 7 lines down. The reason I counted 7 lines down is, and that leaves me enough room for my numbers to go above. Something like this, where you know that you need to have enough space. I know I need to have enough space for 5. Definitely in your interest to, I'm a little bit, that's why, because I outlined on this one. All right. In your best interest to do some measuring ahead of time, okay? Measuring ahead of time. Don't just start, because if you start, I don't know about you, but the chances of me having enough room and everything working out just happenstance is slim to none. All right, so then I want 1, 2, 3 lines at the bottom, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to end about right there. And I use my little ruler. I heard somebody asking about that ruler. Yes, they are available on my website. If you click on, in the description box of this video, there's a link that says what I'm using, and it will show you, well, it will take you to a page. We'll have all of the things that I am using today, right down to my little mechanical pencil. This part, I know, this part's a little bit like watching paint dry, but you know what? For me, I think that if I wanted to do something like this, I think it's helpful. Otherwise, I would be in such a hurry. I would just sit down and start stamping and then go, oh, shoot. I probably should have paid a little bit more attention to make sure that I was giving myself enough room. So here we go. I'm drawing my little boxes here with the pencil, and then I will come back in and do it with my black pen. Whoopsie. Kat said she got a nice mechanical pencil lately. I love mechanical pencils. I use pencils a lot in my traveler's notebooks when I am doing things like this. It's just easy. You never have to worry about having a sharpener with you, right? Because it's just, you just click the little thing and it will give you a new sharp lead. So just kind of wrap this up here real quick. Why don't we talk about giveaways? Why don't we talk about giveaways that anyone can participate in? Okay, this isn't the live one. Let's talk about giveaways that anyone can participate in. Regardless of when you watch, as long as you leave a comment before Saturday, February 11th, because that's when we'll be together again. As long as you leave a comment before, then you have a chance for the giveaways. Your chances are much greater than the lottery, my friends. Much greater. Although the prize, the lottery prize is much greater. You know what, 1 billion something. Unfortunately, it's not that exciting. But let's be realistic. You have a much greater chance of winning a prize here than you do the lottery. Unless you win the lottery, then you better be my friend and send me some flowers. How about that? That's the deal. If you win the lottery, you send me flowers, and then I'll know that you won the lottery, and then you don't even have to tell me that you won. If I win the lottery, oh my goodness, what would I do? Well, we've actually done a list before, you guys. We have done a list before if I won the lottery. I couldn't tell anyone. I wouldn't be able to tell anyone because, you know, people come out of the woodwork all of a sudden when you do that, right? That's what happens. All right, now we're ready. At least we're ready to stamp. Now we know where we need to stamp, and I need to go ahead and restamp again. And even though I've already tested, I am going to test again. Let me get out my little pencil board. So that's just all ready to go. I'll put that under there just so I'm ready. And we'll stamp again. I just flipped that. I prefer to apply my ink to the stamp as opposed stamp to the ink because I think it gives you a little bit more control. That's just me though. All right, it'll work. So let's come back here. Let's ink that puppy up again. And we'll stamp our first letter. Make sure I get a nice good amount of ink there. And one will go right there. Now, even though I've done a version of this already, I haven't used the same colors. I haven't used the same product. So it's like it's new for me, right? There we go. There's number one. Nice and juicy and clean and looks good. So let's just clean that guy off real quick. And put it back. So last time when we were together and when I was stamping 2022, obviously if you're stamping with different colors in the same stamp, you want to clean in between colors unless you're going for some kind of blended look. I already used that one, so I shouldn't need to clean it again or prime it again. But always also let them dry before you reapply with ink. If you clean off your stamps in between, let's say I needed to stamp the two twice in two different colors. If you clean off the color in between, you need to make sure that your stamp is fully dry, or else you're going to get pooling of your ink on your stamped impression because you'll have water in there. What? Okay, have fun skiing. Be careful. All right, now we can party. Nick's gone. Now we can party. No, just kidding. All right, so number two. Ooh, yeah, that's going to be nice. There we go. Okay, ink that up again. Looks good. I still have my pencil board underneath there, so I'm not worried about getting some weird lumpy bumpy things. Okay. And then we get number two. Jennifer said she got her Happy Mail this week. Happy Mail this week. Love everything I received. Can't wait to use it. Thank you, Jennifer. I'm glad. There's number two. Okay. Zanny, is that how you say it? Zanny, like Annie, but Zanny. Loving this focus list page. You know, it's I don't know. I think it's good, at least for me. It's good to have things that I want to focus on. But like I said, we're going to hold each other accountable. And when I say, there you go, Jessica, I'll send all of you flowers. Then the only problem is, then you'll know. Although I did send someone flowers today. So if you're watching, person I sent flowers to, she's been sick. I sent her flowers. If you're watching, that does not mean I won the lottery, okay? Does not mean I won the lottery. That's funny. That is funny. Oh, guess what? Well, I hope I didn't just blow it with her because the flowers may not have been delivered yet. I don't know. Oh, well, we'll see. We shall see. All right. Yes, that's the deal. I'll send everyone flowers, but then I'll be out. Then I'll have to go like away somewhere for a while. And then people won't know where I went. Alrighty. Okay, so there's number 3. Number 3, I'm doing saltwater taffy. Oopsie. Now, because that's new, I haven't used it yet. I need to test it to make sure it looks good. Ooh, that's pretty. That one is saltwater taffy. It is, I don't know. I think Tim said it's a peach. To me, it's like a mix between a peach and a pink. Do you guys know there's a new color coming out, right? There's a new distress color coming out January 28th. I do not know what it is. I had high hopes for a really good mint. It sounds like someone said that Tim said it's going to be neutral. So I think neutral is not mint. We just need a good mint. Mint must be a hard one to get because I think mint, just like peach, is kind of a hard one to get. They must be just some colors that are a little bit harder to produce. Kat said, I need to figure out where I'm going to put stuff before I'm going to buy stuff. My place is tiny. And you know what? Here's the thing. Even if your place isn't tiny, I think it's a really good idea to make sure you know where you're going to put something before you get it, right? There's something that I think most of us here have in common. And that is we like to organize our crafty things. We like to organize our crafty things, right? And so it's kind of I don't think it ever ends. I think you figure it out, you get your things organized and you like the way they are. And then later you're like, no, I need to change that. It's a constant evolution for me. It is a constant evolution. It's part of the fun though, I think. I think it's part of the fun. All right. Oh, there's no yellow in my list. That's odd. Usually there's yellow, isn't there? I love the yellow. Now, just because those were the colors in the sticker I'm using, that doesn't mean I couldn't bring in other colors if I didn't want. I mean, if I wanted to. Ooh, that's a good one. All right, super juicy, super juicy. If you are new to inks, I have a link. I have actually 2 links at the bottom, towards the bottom of the description of the video. Oopsie, I need to do that again. I had a little bit of ink up there at the top. And I didn't want that to get on my project. And then I got a little bit too much of that paper towel on there. All right. Yes, if you are new to inks or you're, whoopsie, boy, I almost ended up with that on my elbow. That would not have been a good thing. So what was I just saying? Oh, yes. If you're new to inks, distress inks, or the difference between like a pigment-based ink and a dye-based ink, there are links to 2 really great articles. The bottom, in the description of the video, towards the bottom. There are 2 great articles on scrapbook.com that talk about the differences. One of them specifically is talking about the difference between a distress oxide and a distress ink. So distress oxide, pigment-based ink, distress ink, dye-based ink. I am not like I use ink for stamping. I don't use ink for mixed media. I don't do blending and things like that. But it's important if you're going to start using inks other than, you know, for like what I do, stamping, I think it's important that you educate yourself on the different types of inks and their properties. So great article with photos and different examples that Tim Holt has done talking about and showing the differences between a distress oxide and a distress ink. So just, you know, if you want to learn some things, then those are good things to look at, to learn. All right, so I've got a little bit of, oh, guess what? Do you know what? I didn't prime my 5. Did you guys catch that? I just realized I didn't prime my 5, but look do you see how it's kind of splotchy? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that splotchy. I don't like that. That's not just for me. I don't like that look. So, but that is because I did not prime that stamp first. Oh, fountain pen. Kat's talking about a fountain pen. Yes, fountain pens are fun, aren't they? Especially if you like write calligraphy, then they look really cool. Alrighty. Hope I didn't get green on me there. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it, but I think I know it's going to happen. I'm going to have a few of those blotches still. I probably should have, yep, do you see? I probably should have stamped a couple more times to help get that really thin layer off, but I didn't. It's all right. It's all good. Okay, let's clean this guy. You guys, I have not been stamping for a long time. I don't know, maybe a couple of years. And all the things that, all the little tips that I've gathered along the way, most of it is just learning the hard way. Or then going, oh my gosh, why did that happen? And then going to research and find out. And someone says, oh, when you're using stamps, you should probably prime them first. You know, something like that. Oh yes, there we go. Look at that little, I love that little guy. All right, so now let's bring our black pen in and our ruler back in, and very quickly I will create my boxes. So I'm curious, you guys. Oh, I know, I was gonna talk about a giveaway a minute ago. I'll talk about that in 1 second. I'm curious, if you are listing with me, what is one of the things on your list to focus on this year? What is one of the things? Even if you're not listing with me, if you're thinking about things that you want to focus on, what is one of those things? One of the giveaways this week will be for the Focus stamp set. The stamp set that I'm using for my list. And that will not be the live giveaway. That will be one that you leave a comment on the video when it's over. So tell me, maybe, and it doesn't have to be, you guys, it doesn't have to be, you know, super like meaningful things. It could mean, hey, I'm going to focus on sitting out in the sun every day. I'm going to focus on going to the park and enjoying nature and watching the squirrels every day, or, you know, every week. It doesn't have to be, you know, the things that we traditionally associate with resolutions, you know, like I'm going to lose 58 pounds. I'm going to be a better person, you know, whatever you want to do. It's you, right? It's your list. Even if you're not making a list, it's your list. You do you. Ms. L, moving more on cleaner eating. Laura, drink less pop. Mindy, focusing on health. Judith K, hi Judith K. Judith K said, I want to focus on decluttering my home, getting into shape, decluttering, making health a priority. Deborah, manifesting the fruit of the spirit in my life. Carmen, focus on focusing, right? Yeah, see, so lots and lots of different things. Somebody said, hold on, retirement from the military, joining the public service. Nancy, love it. Valerie, hi Valerie, travel more. Tracy wants to focus on cleaning out her school supplies. Retired teacher, making a bedroom for my granddaughter visit. Getting a she shed this spring, want to make it lovely. Purging the things I need and I don't need, and using the things I love. Health, wellness, balance, giving away too much of myself to work over the years. It's time to make real changes. I love my work, just demanding, right? Being present, Mindy, I love it. Terry's, her one little word this year is better. So that is my focus. Do better, feel better. There you go. Carly, housework. So lots of different things, right? Lots of different things. You know, I have a bit of a different background. My marketing, I got my degree in marketing. So I graduated from the University of Utah, got my degree in marketing. I worked for AT&T for 8 years. I went straight from that and started a software company with two other guys. One that I had worked with at AT&T, and another one I worked with his wife. And did that for, oh my gosh, 7 years, I think. And then left AT&T. That went to work for Scenic Route. So totally changed careers. Went to work for Scenic Route Paper Company. That's how I know some of you. All right, there we go. All of that to say, I'll just, you know, anyhow, I've done lots of things in my career, but my base my basis of starting with AT&T, there's a lot of really good things I learned. Things like when you're setting goals, so kind of like this, that they need to be specific. So one of the things we're going to get to, like one of my things on here is reading books. I want to focus on reading more. But for me, if I just say I want to focus on reading more, it's not necessarily specific enough. So I want to have a goal associated with that. Like, what does that mean? Does that mean I'm going to read one book a month? Does it mean I'm going to read one book a day? So as you're kind of thinking about your list, maybe even think about whether you're writing a list or whether you are, whether you're just mentally thinking of a list, maybe just try to drill down a little bit more. Like, what are you going to do? Or what does that mean? They say there's an acronym called SMART. They say if you're setting a goal, it should be a SMART goal. Meaning it should be specific, it should be measurable, it should be achievable, it should be results oriented, and it should be have a time frame to it. Now that's getting really, really, really specific, right? And I said we're not setting resolutions. I'm not setting resolutions. I just know for me, when I do something like this, I need to give it a little bit more meat. Because then if I give it a little bit more meat, I have a little bit more of a chance to maybe achieve it. And part of that meat is focusing on every probably month or so, every 6 weeks, on one of these things and listing about what I'm doing to continue to focus on it. Okay. Zanny, I never got back to whether I was pronouncing your name right. You probably told me. Was just typing SMART goal. Yes, right? SMART goal. Belinda said, hey, friends, with the question mark. Did you have a question, Belinda? Hey, friends. Anna, AT&T for 36 years. Gabby, you worked for AT&T. I did not know that. And your partner currently works for AT&T. I love that. Yes. So lots of people AT&T. I was on the cellular side, but that was, there were so many amazing things I learned because you have a, Fortune, I don't know, what were they back then? Fortune 100, Fortune 10, I don't know. But they were very focused on a lot of the like management principles and like the 7 habits of highly successful people. There are so many really great tools that I learned and took away from business and then setting goals and things like that. Anyhow, Jessica, your degree is in marketing too. I love it. Belinda, no question. I just have clumsy fingers. All good. Karen, there you go. Karen wants to learn about machine capabilities at work, so she knows more, so I don't have to ask questions constantly, right? These are things we're focusing on. I'm going to have things on my list that probably are not going to apply to anyone else, and that's okay. So let's talk about what those are. There are 5. The first one, is date nights. Okay? Date nights. Nick and I in May will have been married for 28 years. Okay? We've been married a long time. We're empty nesters. So we've been empty nesters now, I don't know, maybe about 2 years. And one of the things that I have realized, Nick travels a lot for his work. I travel in spurts for my business. And then we also like to travel together a lot. But we also have our totally own lives. Like my business takes a bunch of my time and a bunch of my focus. Nick loves to ski. Nick loves to golf. We both have joint friends. We both have separate friends that aren't couples. One of the things that we both kind of identified last, November, December, is that we want to focus on this. We want to focus on like date nights, just spending time together and not like coming home on a Friday night or, he comes home and I've been working all day and sit on the couch and watch a show. That's not what that is, unless we decide that's what it is. So there we go. That's my first thing. What I will do, I'm going to write what each of the things are, and then I won't spend the time doing that while we're together, but then I will fill in like what that means. Because I've already done this, because I did it for the packaging, like this one says, Nick and I will have been married 28 years. Basically just what I told you guys. I feel like it just keeps getting better and better. I want to make a concerted effort to go out on a date every other week. There we go. That's the plan. Every other week. Have some kind of date night. Now, it doesn't need to be go out. It's just that something we're focused on. Okay, next one. reading books. I love to read. I love, 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 love to read. Carmen, I've read, I think, 3 or 4 books already this year. I read very quickly, so that's what makes it a little bit easier for me to read a lot of books. But Carmen gave me this really cool book thing to help track the books that I'm reading, so I'm very excited about that. Right, that was you, Carmen. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, good. Reading books. So my goal for that is at least 2 books a month. Okay, so that's what that one is. The next one is more time learning. Okay, more time learning. And on that one, this is actually a repeat from my list last year. I did not do very well at this. I spend a lot of time working. I need to spend more time learning about new things so that I can incorporate them into my business. So more time learning. I've got to carve out time though. And in here, I said setting aside 3 hours per week. Okay, so 3 hours per week. It doesn't have to be 3 hours in one day. It doesn't have to be 1 hour, 3 days. It could be 15 minutes here, half an hour here, but 3 hours a week. And I get to decide what that is. Maybe I search on Pinterest for how to do something, and then I go, oh my gosh, I like that. And then I drill down into that, and there you go. So I can decide what that means, but that one. Next one is, oh yes, right? The next 2 are health related. Regular exercise. Although this one is not been a problem since August. And this, what I will write here, talks about something that Nick and I have been doing together. It's something called Step Bet, where you join these challenges and you pay, the ones that we always do, they're like 6 weeks challenges, and you pay $40. And as long as you meet the challenge, then you get your $40 back every time. The people that don't meet the challenge, then their money goes into a pool, and then the people that do meet the challenge basically split that. So that for me is accountability, because I have paid $40. You better darn well, I'm not going to make that mistake again. You better darn well believe that I am going to hit that. So that's been great. That'll be another thing that I continue with, and that's the Step Bet. The very last one is just healthy eating, right? Healthy eating. And I have whatever I'm going to write there. Well, I already have it written down, but so there we go. So those are my 5 things that I am focusing on in 2023. Had to think about that. That's what I'm focusing on in 2023. So I think I need just a little bit more decor here. I had pulled the sticker before from, maybe we'll do, I'll just put this little guy, maybe just right down there. And that corner, that pulls in a little bit of the wood there. It pulls in the orange from the orange, the pink from the pink to the pink. So it's kind of all working together. I think I will, maybe we should put some washi down there along the bottom. Let's see. This is the washi. This is rainbow washi from one of the 2 sets of washi from Stargazer, and that's the collection that I'm using. No, Stardust, not Stargazer. Stardust. So if we do that, let's do this. I am going to, I'd like a straight edge here. So straight edge-ish. We'll put that along the bottom. And then I'm just going to try to lift up that little sticker just a tad. And now I've pulled in that whole concept, oopsie, of the rainbow here and brought that back down along the bottom. Cat, slowly losing weight. There you go. You know what? Whatever's on our list, right? Like I said before, it's our list. We can decide whatever it is that we want to focus on. Whatever it is that we want to focus on. All right, so I think the last thing that I would like to do, I just have to figure out where I'm going to put it. There are some words in this stamp set. And so the adventure begins. documented. Maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll put documented right down here. Let's see what that would look like. And I would do that in black. Where's my medium guy? Oh, here we go. So I promise you, before we're together again, how about this? The lists that I needed to finish up from last time. Oopsie, wrong way. The list I needed to finish up from last time. And this one, writing my things, I will have done before we are together again on the 11th. 1.5 hours until my cutoff. Thank you, Terry. Yep, we're going to stop with this list right now after I do this documented. I don't want to take any more time doing that with you guys. So, oh my goodness, guess what I did? I was in such a hurry. I didn't test that ahead of time. Gosh darn it, Layle. Well, it worked out okay. I didn't test it ahead of time. No, I know, Karen. No all dayer. No, I have. I'm going to lunch with some friends, so I have a hard stop. All right. What about? You know, I could come in with little things like that. So I just put like that little starburst, not starburst. I don't know what that is. That little shape. I could do some things like this throughout if I wanted, just to break things up a little bit, because that's a lot. That's going to be a lot of black writing, right? That's going to be a lot of black writing. I could also come to the sticker book, because the sticker book is going to have some smaller stickers. I need something blue now, I think. Oh, I have blue. I don't know. We'll just look. We'll see what we find. Oh, look it. There's lots of little... Maybe we'll pull this guy off. And... pull in a yellow. I think we'll do this yellow. It's a little bit more muted. All right. So I'll add a little bit more as I do my writing, but there we go. Yes, Valerie, it is National Squirrel Day. What you can't see is I have a one of the scatter squirrel pins on my lapel of my shirt. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so there we go. You guys, I've got a really good start on that list. Like I mentioned, we will come back. We will be continuing to focus on this concept throughout the year. Because for me, I don't want this to just be my list and I never come back to it. And if I want to hold myself accountable, then periodically throughout the year, I'll do a focus on number one. What's been happening? Like, how are we making sure that we're still doing our date nights? Or how am I making sure that I'm doing healthy eating? Like, how has that been going? Because after, let's say, the first 2 months, if nothing has happened here, then I can say, fail. I haven't done really well, but this is what I'm going to do forward to continue to focus on whatever I wanted to focus on. All right, and that is the focus stamp set. You guys, that is, I can't remember if I said this or not, that is one of the giveaways. So that's one of the giveaways for today. I will ask you to leave a comment on the video itself once it's over, not in the chat, telling me if you'd like to share one of the things that you're focusing on for 2023. If you don't want to share that, just leave a comment and it will be, I pick one random comment. All right, so that is our first list. Our second list is, as I'm cleaning up, things I'm looking forward to. Oh, yes. Thank you, Tracy. Very good. Tracy reminded me of something. I need to date my list. Absolutely. I need to date my list. So let me look. What if we did this little guy? The small roller date stamp. Oh, what if we did it right down here? I think I might like it right down there. So let's look. Today is January 21st. There we go. I would do that in black just so it kind of blends in. But if I'm not quite sure if I'm going to like it, right? I'm like, ooh, I don't know. Will I like it there? What if I don't like it there? What if I stamp it there and I don't like it there? What am I going to do? I can take out a piece of scratch paper. Now, even when you're doing your date stamps, I always suggest that you come back and test it. Like, see that one? The one was way higher. Make sure it's the correct date. Make sure things are lined up well. And if I'm not sure if I'm going to like it or not, I can stamp that on a little tiny piece of cardstock. Well, I didn't stamp it on a tiny piece of cardstock. I'm going to cut it into a tiny piece. And then I can lay that right there and say, do I like it there? I think it's going to work there. So let's come back in. We'll still put our pencil board there because it's always a good habit to get into. Because the first time you forget, then you know what's going to happen. You'll be sad. Then you'll be taking that little date that you just cut pre-stamped and sticking it over that. Alrighty, so let's. There we go. Okay, dated and ready to roll. Well, almost ready to roll. Hi, Nancy. I'm not late. It's an open house. It is an open house. Oh my goodness, Deborah's a genius. Okay, we got to look at that. Duh. The beginning, I showed something. I showed a new product that I don't have up on the website yet. I said, oh, later this afternoon I'll put it up because I've got to go to lunch right after. But new product, clear sticky notes. Okay, so what Deborah just said, Deborah said, Layle, why don't you try stamping it on your clear? Oh, darn it. All right. Public service announcement. Always check your fingers for ink because look at what I've done. And it's okay. I'm not worried. I'm not going to cry because I have a couple of fingerprints there. But by the time I write my list, you won't even see those fingerprints there. But always check your fingers. Now, where did that sticky note go? I'm going to go to lunch. No, it's clear. I'm going to go to lunch with a sticky note on my behind. A clear one. I guess it could be worse. All right. I don't know where it went. So we'll start over. Yeah, it's gone. Well, it's not really gone, but it's kind of gone. All right. So if I wanted to do this, I'm just going to cut a little tiny piece. And I could, let's just do, let me think. Ink this up really quick. Oh, that's a different one. I know it's the wrong one. It's okay. Now, I would not want to keep it on there because it's, this type of ink is not going to react very well on that sticky. It's kind of, you can tell it's kind of sitting on top of the surface. But this was the great idea that Deborah was saying. If I stamp on that clear, look at, do I like it there? Do I like it here? Do I like it here? Look at how you can, look at, not that I would ever put it there, but isn't that awesome? Kind of get a really good feel for where you want to do your stamping without having to come in. Great idea. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. All right. Yeah, who knows where that sticky went. Okay, list number 1 is done. List number 2, things I'm looking forward to. So we are going to set Stardust aside for a bit, but I'm going to use it on my last list, so I'm going to keep it out. I'm going to just put these little guys off to the side. I'll need to put those away later. Second list, things that I'm looking forward to in 2023, right? This is a list that we do on repeat, although it's not necessarily for 2023, but we do lists, things I'm looking forward to, things I learned, things I'd like to remember, things I'd like to forget, things I'm looking forward to this winter, spring, summer, fall, things I'm looking forward to this year, things I'm looking forward to next year. Hence the stamp set called All the Things. So again, necessity is the mother of invention. The sticky note is on your desk under your TN. Oh, it is. There it is. That's so funny. It was so clear I couldn't see it. So I'll just actually, and the nice thing is these little guys, I tried to find smaller size, like the, size that's about like that, and I couldn't find it. So these little guys, like I did, you can just cut them up if you need your little smaller pieces. All right, yes. How could you see that? Maybe it's just lighting. I couldn't see that at all. All right, All the Things stamp set. This is another one of my stamp sets that's part of the current release, and necessity is the mother of invention. As I was saying, we do lots of lists like this. So this is called all the things. You have my favorite things about with all of your handwritten words. You have things I'm with all of your handwritten words that will blend in there. Things I'd like to forget, remember, things I learned, things I'd like to do again, things I appreciate, wish, believe, did well, all the things. Well, yeah, all the things. There you go. All the things. All right, so now I am going to use Print Shop. I'm going to use Vicky's lovely Print Shop collection for this list. And I can't do anything about the past, but I can do something about the future. What I mean by that, look at my ghosting and shadowing. This was the past. This was a list that I just did before. There's nothing I can do about that shadowing, ghosting happen. But I can affect the future. I can affect right now, right? I can put something on top of that and then build my list on top of so that ghosting, shadowing is not wreaking havoc with my list. So what that means is, oh, good. I need to put some pattern paper down first. So I'll have pattern paper here, pattern paper here. And let's see what we want to use. Now, okay. So this could be kind of fun. This could be fun. If this list is things I'm looking forward to, right? Well, there's some glasses that kind of has to do with looking, right? I could use that. I also happen to know that in the die cuts, the Print Shop journaling die cuts, there are a pair of glasses. That could kind of be fun too, couldn't it? Let's just look. That may be a little bit too much, it's like too literal. So I don't know, we'll see. I know I like that. I love that little measuring tape. The pencil. It's kind of fun to use too. That brings in a little bit of yellow. I'm just going through things to see here what I might like to use. What I really should do, hang on. Is that spread all of these out. Those of you that are doing the 2023 year in review project kit with me, we are using, as part of the kit, these this particular pack of die cuts. Okay, I think what I'll end up doing, I think we'll take a look at the die cuts that I've pulled out so far. I don't know, the bird's kind of cute too. I know there's two birds, yellow. I pulled out, I grabbed that guy back out because, although now the pink's in, so I don't know, we'll see. All right, there's that. Oopsie, I also want to take a look at the papery. So if you were with me last week, we looked at the papery. I actually used some of the papery from Parasol. Papery, this is a new product that American Crafts released with the Maggie's Parasol and Vicky's Print Shop. Loaded. This little pack has 200 pieces. And what's fun about it, I'm going to take that off to the side and bring out another one. What's fun about it, there are a ton of pieces in here, 200 pieces. Some of the pieces are paper and some of the pieces are, well, when you look at the box, everything up here, paper. Everything down here, stickers. And they are like a, well, it's actually, reminds me a lot of, it's a little bit thicker than those sticky notes that we were looking at. But they're kind of transparent, translucent. What I wish. Things I'm looking forward to, that would work. So happy together, maybe that works in there. There's also multiples of some of the pieces. So if you find one that you really like, then it's kind of cool because you have more than one. Clips, and just thought I'd let you know that could work, right? On my mind. Oh, look it. More glasses, but those glasses are going to be like the sticker? Yeah, those glasses are kind of going to be, it's kind of like a washi sticker. Like if you've ever used like a washi sticker before, if you know what I mean there. We could do ink spots. All right, so I think we've got a pretty good idea. As you can see, I'm gravitating towards those kind of colors. The mint and the, oh, that's a good one. The mint and the yellow and black. So I think that is what we are. Just got to keep looking though, because you never know. I think that is what I'm going to go with. And this one is things I'm looking forward to this year. All right, let's move this off to the side. And I'm going to move all of the rest of this stuff off to the side, except for maybe these. Okay, here we go. I need, whoopsie. They were already on a tray. Now I have 2 trays. I need some white cardstock because I'm not going to do my list on those pieces. So I need white cardstock. I use 8.5 by 11. Cat Rose. Asterisk sits on my wallet. Asterisk. I know, right? I know. Oh, look at Marilee. That's cute. Look at how clever Marilee is. Marilee said if the glasses were smaller, you could use them as O's in looking forward to. That would be fun, huh? All right. So I need to first trim these pieces. I pulled both of those pieces from the 6x8 pad. And I use 6x8 almost exclusively because the inserts that I use are called standard wide. They are 5 inches wide by 8.25 inches tall. So when I take a 6x8 piece of paper, I trim that down to 4 3/4. Because that way, when this is the base of my page, I end up with a nice little white border all the way around. So that guy is now 8 by 4 3/4, and I will do the same with this one. Now, oh my goodness, it says hello. There says hello in all those little parts of the glasses. That's fun. I didn't notice that. These little pieces that you always cut off, you don't have to throw those away because look at what we could do. Hi, Kristen. Nice to see you. Something like this. If I only wanted to use, let's say, 1 piece of pattern paper, I could do something like this and then put this guy right here and then do my notes over here or my list or whatever it is. So I can make things. I don't have to throw those pieces away. I also, if I wanted, well, I wouldn't do that there. That could just be, I mean, maybe I just have like a super easy 1-page list and that's the leftover and I put a little bird right there and then there's my list. So these pieces that you cut off, don't throw them away because you could still use them for your lists. Also double-sided. So look at that. Wouldn't that be fun? That would be kind of fun for a list too. So keep those little pieces in mind that you cut off. Not garbage. Okay, we need a corner rounder because I like to round the outside corners. Hang tight. Oh, it's probably... I am in the process of designing 4 different project kits right now. Earlier this week it was 5, but I got 1 finished, and now I'm 4. So I'm looking for my corner rounder, and the corner rounder, hang on, wouldn't you know it, I have lots of them too. There it is, buried. I thought that I had it somewhere. I have more than 1, so it's probably, well, it's somewhere. Anyhow, all right, so I round the outside corners. There we go, and there we go. So those will be the bases of my list. Now, one thing I can do when I am working with pattern paper as my base, I can create my list completely off the page. So I can set this aside, set my insert aside, work on my lists, get my list totally completed, and then adhere them into my Traveler's Notebook. That will make it a little bit easier, especially as you start getting more and more and more pages completed in your book. Like this was the last one. Once you start getting all the way down to here, it gets a little bit harder to work on the left page because there's so much that has happened before it. So if you are using pattern paper as a base, a lot of times I will work off the page. And when I say work off the page, that's what I mean. If you're stamping, Now you have a nice flat surface for yourself to stamp on as well. So now we have the white cardstock. The white cardstock I am going to trim, let's see, maybe to, let's start with 4 1/4. We'll see. 4 1/4 by, well, this is usually when I just take out my little pencil instead of measuring whatever that would be. I'll tell you what that measurement is in case you want to know. Oh, I cannot tell you what that measurement is with this particular trimmer because it is a short one. It's a shorty. So that would be about 7, almost 7.5 by 4 1/4. So really, if you want to know, it is 7 7/16 by 4 1/4. That's what that piece is. And now I kind of need to know that. So let's go 4 1/4. And I can't get my 7 7/16 because I don't have, that's just a shorty. It doesn't have an arm that comes out. So we'll just do that. Oh, I just remembered too. If you were with me last week, I had the larger version of this trimmer that I was using, and I'm like, oh my goodness, my blade is so, like, it's so bad. It's so, I need a new blade. And I went, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll take the blade off of this one and put it on the other one. Now this is the blade I'm using, and now it's all, yeah. All right, so there we go. If we have that and we have that, okay? That's the base of our list. Let's go ahead and adhere those down. Oh, guess what? Brand new refill. I love it when brand new refill on my tape runner. It just is like butter. It just, good. Good, good, good. Makes me happy. Those little things that make you happy, right? Oh, that's funny. Okay, in the chat, Carmen said, Christina Charles, on my, that is a great new term to, wait. Oh, that's a great new term to add to the crafting terms list. I fell off the wallet. Christina said, there's a lot of C's in there. Christina Charles, Carmen Corbridge, and Kristen. That's why I got so confused. I fell off the wallet. That's a good one. Like I fell off the wagon. I fell off the wallet. Carmen, did you say 8 by 4 3/4 for the base? Yes. 8 by 4 3/4. That's pretty much what I do all of the time when I'm doing a pattern paper base. 8 by 4 3/4. Now that's because I'm using a standard wide. If you are using a standard is about 4.33 instead of 5. So you would, narrow accordingly. Same height, different width. But I like the standard wide, and that's, I sell both on my website, but I definitely almost 100% use the standard wide just because I like having that extra width. When you're working on a spread, that gives you about an extra 1.5 inches, and that is a big difference when you're working in a pretty small space. But it just depends. Just depends on what you're doing and what you want to use things for. And I always do my outlining, you know that, with my little thin Sharpie. Oh, I know what would have been, oh well, I know what would have been fun there, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, so here we go. And let's start just taking a look at what we might want to do. Maybe. We're just playing, right? We can just lay things out and see what we feel like. No. But we could do another splatter, maybe like over here. I like the pencil. Might be fun to have the pencil in there. Now we've got a little bit of yellow and a little bit of yellow, right? We've got yellow on both sides. Oh, that butterfly's left over from the other guy. All right. Oh no, so happy together. That does not work at all. That does not make sense, does it? No, I had pulled this out. Important message. Just thought I'd let you know. Sure, why not? Those two could go there. And then I end up, my list is here and then over here. So then if that's the case, if I'm going to go with this down here, I have to fill this space up because that's weird. I'm not going to write part of my list there. That's just going to look really funny, I think. So we won't do that. We'll have to like fill in the area over here a little bit. And we're just layering some things on there, right? We're just layering some things to see what we might like. I've still got some of the things from the last collection in here. So that's really bottom heavy. If I don't know, I think that guy's going back out again. I think it's just too bottom heavy to have that there because I had to fill in that space. And that's just for me, right? That doesn't have to be for you, but for me, too bottom heavy. Maybe we'll go back to this guy. We just kind of move things around as we are working. And I don't have to commit to any of this yet, right? Hi, Scrappy Matilda. Not late. It's an open house. You come and go as you please, but it's so fun to have you. Right, so we're just layering things. I'm just putting things down to see what I might like. Generally, I'm in odds over here, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here I have 3. For me, I think it looks more balanced if you're working in odds instead of evens. So that's kind of what I'm going for there. All right. I think we should just do it. I think we should just put them down and do it. What do you say? Let's do it. Let's do it. Yes, scrap lift. That is a common term in our little world here. When you are being inspired by, like sometimes very inspired by, like you're doing the exact same thing that someone else did, you're scrap lifting, right? You are lifting their scrapbooking design or crafty design or whatever. We could call it list lifting, I guess, right? List lifting. List lifting. All right, so I need to grab, oh yes, my glue pen, because that's a pretty thin little piece there. I don't want to have to mess with doing that on with my tape runner. Put that little pencil there. And then this guy is like one of the little kind of translucent stickers. So we'll end up being able to see a little bit of the pencil showing through down towards the bottom. Like right there. So you can see it's a little bit translucent. And that piece I'm going to cut off the edge. I don't want, well, actually I can just fold it over. I don't need to cut it. I don't want anything sticking out. I don't like things sticking out the edge of my traveler's notebooks. And that's just me. So I need my title. And my title is, oopsie. I need to, let me just get this out of the way. Okay. Hang on, this is now thoroughly dry. I couldn't put it away before because it was not. List lifting, there we go, list lifting. And you know what? It's just being inspired. It's being inspired by what someone else did. And it's no, you know, absolutely. You should do it. If you see something that someone else did and you love the way it looks, you should recreate it or start with it as a base for your idea and then make it your own. Kind of the only rule, there is one rule. The one rule, just like in anything, you should not take credit for what is not yours. So if you are in college and you're writing a paper, that's called plagiarism. So now in college, you can't say I was inspired by, right? That doesn't work. But absolutely, if you are working on a list, and here's the thing, if it's just in your book and no one else sees it, doesn't matter. But if you are posting it on a website or you're posting it somewhere, it's kind of generally understood that you should, you know, give credit to someone that you were inspired by or whatever it was. Things I'm looking forward to. So these are going to be a series of stamps. There's things I'm, and then we have looking forward to, and then I can say this year, I have next. I could say this month. It could say this spring, summer, winter, fall. It could say things I'm looking forward to Well, really, it's those. So it's, for me, it's this year, right? It is this year. So those are the pieces that I need, things I'm looking forward to this year. And I am going to start with the little things actually, I'm going to start with the big one, looking forward to. I need my bigger stamping block. We talk a lot about the right tools for the job. Stamping block wise, the stamping set I use is one that I have on my website, and it has, well, I use lots of different stamping blocks. This one I almost always use, you see me use it because it has 4 different sizes, so it's really easy. Not to say that you couldn't use one stamping block, one large stamping block. You kind of need lowest common denominator, right? You need one large stamping block to fit all of your stamps. Nothing wrong with that. And if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. But when you start getting into a little teeny stamp like that, it makes it really hard because it's such a small stamp. So if you can start collecting or working your way towards working your way towards having multiple stamping blocks, that's a good idea, just because you have stamps that are different size. All right, so if I start this here, I know I don't want to do the title above. The reason I don't want to do the title above is I have this dip and it's going to look really weird. But I think I might be able to kind of account for that dip if I put this here, looking forward to, and I do this little guy like right here, things I'm. It can kind of help to fill in that space a little bit so it's not as obvious. Things I'm looking forward to. And then I'm just thinking, no, it's fine. It's fine. And then my this year will go right down kind of in there. So I'll start with this guy, but I need to get this little guy down. I'm just going to put one little dot to try to hold it. And then I'll come back in and pick it up again, probably. We'll see. Okay. So looking forward to, I'm going to stamp my things I'm separately from the looking forward to because I want to get pretty tight in with that, and I won't be able to get in as tight as I want to because of the rubber or the acrylic or the photopolymer that is around, the material that's around that stamp. So I will use black just because. 1 hour, 55 minutes. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Terry. You're so good, Terry. Thank you. Thank you. I asked Terry to be my timekeeper for me today because I have to end at 1. Our third list will go pretty quickly. Said no one ever. You guys are like, said Layle never. Well, or maybe I say it, but it never happens, right? I say it, but never happens. Cat Mom is going to Jerusalem in March for a Holy Land tour. Oh my goodness. That's going to be amazing, I bet, huh? I bet that is going to be amazing. Okay, looking forward to. So that looks good. I don't need to worry about my pencil board because I'm off the page. I'm on a flat surface. I do need to come in and re-ink, so we'll get that ready. Nancy said, loving this spread. I really must do this list. So glad I'll be able to watch these videos again when I'm not planning. Sometimes meal planning is not fun, but so much better than not doing it. Yep, you know what? You got to do what you got to do. Got to do the work before you can do the play, right? If you want to eat, you've got to do the meal planning. Well, not necessarily, but all right. So there we go. There we go. Looking forward to. Now I will come in with my little guy. The things I'm. So the looking forward to is my handwriting. Well, basically all the writing that you see on this stamp set is mine. Aside from, you know, something like that. That is just font. That is not me. Now, because I tested this first, I can come in and make sure I like what it's going to look like above. I already knew I'd like it, so. Take scatter. Oh, yes. Right. Take scatter off. We got to take them off my lapel. Got to take them off my lapel. Although I might want to have them on. Let's do this. When I flip the camera, remind me again, because then you guys can see them on my little lapel. Because if you missed it, today is National Squirrel Appreciation Day. We should say international. I mean, why are we not including our international friends? It's international. International squirrels are important too. Things I'm looking forward to. And now we need to do this here. So this is a buildable stamp set, right? You can mix and match and make your titles with whatever you need. And that was the whole thought behind this, because, you know, all the things. And it works well beyond just the beginning of the year, because we also, for years, have been doing a list, things I'm looking forward to this spring, summer, winter, fall. I think one of the lists that will be fun that we'll do in the future is things I did well, things I'd like to do over, right? You ever think about that? Do-overs, like a mulligan? Things that you want to do over. Dora, if you're here, I forgot, you guys, so sad. I forgot, sometimes I tell you, well, you guys know it's pretty much just me. Lily works part-time, but it's just me doing most of the things. And sometimes when things get too busy, when I'm pulling all the product for your orders, I go a little bit too fast, and sometimes I mess up. And poor Dora, she was very sad because I sent her order, and she had ordered this stamp set, and I forgot to send the stamp set. So she was sad. I mean, I sent it to her. It went out yesterday, but she didn't have it in time for today. So if I ever mess up on your order, I'm sorry. I apologize. It's just me, myself, and I. So it happens. I'm not sure where I want that. So guess what? Let's come here and see where we think we like it. Because I think I can make it kind of tuck right in. I think my H, oh yes, there we go. That's what I want to do. I can tuck the H so it can kind of nestle. It can kind of nestle right in there, I think. We're going to do that. Yes, it is Squirrel Appreciation Day. Isn't that funny? I put it in my calendar. Now it's a recurring event every year. January 21st is Squirrel. Really, it is. I didn't make that up. Someone made it up, but it's not me. Whoopsie, that moved a little bit when I did that. Oh, well. Oh, well. Teresa said, yikes, I get depressed when I think about do-overs. And you know what? Here's the thing, you guys. A lot of times there may be a list that I'm doing that just doesn't work for you. Like once we did a list, my favorite rides at Disneyland. Well, if Disney isn't your thing, then you don't have to do the list. You can switch it up. Maybe, how about this one? In fact, I'm going to add this to our list of lists. How about things I'm glad I don't have to do again? Things I'm glad I never have to do again. Let's add that. Hold on. Add that to our list of lists right here in my handy dandy notebook. Things I'm glad I don't have to do over. Oopsie. Okay, there we go. All right. So, things I'm looking forward to this year. Now, where's my other page? Let's get that other page. It's such a mess. I'm such a messy crafter. So messy. What's Pamela's? I missed it. Pamela. I missed. Let me look. Pamela said, watching while putting off cleaning the house and washing dishes. Getting my DIY on later today. Yes. Okay, right? Is that what we're talking about? I think so. Okay. Oh, Carmen gets to be 52 on Monday. Happy early birthday. And she said, yes, looking for attention. I need it lately. You know what? Hey, here's the deal. If you can't come here to get attention, I don't know where you can come. You know, I'll give you attention. So happy early birthday. 52. You're younger than me, Carmen. There you go. You've got that going for you. Oh, I know. It's just a number, right? We just have to say, you know what? Just a number. It's just a number. It's all how you feel. I still feel like I'm 30. So, except, I don't know. Some days I get out of bed, I don't feel like I'm 30 at all. But mentally, I feel like I'm 30. I don't know. Mentally, sometimes I feel like I'm 12. Mentally, not mentally. Sometimes I act like I'm 12, right? Probably more often than not, I act like I'm 12. But, you know, that's all right. That's all right. All right, now we're back over here again because we need to finish whatever we were doing over here with our little layerable things. Just thought I'd let you know, right? That works here. Just thought I'd let you know things I'm looking forward to this year. What are you looking forward to this year? A couple of you told me. I'm curious. What are you looking forward to this year? Tell me, tell me. Sure, why not? Now, there's something that normally I could do that I will not be able to do here. I have, oh my gosh, Scrapinology, my wedding in July. Wait, Scrapinology, is it you that like recently reconnected with your love from the past, right? That was you, wasn't it? I think, maybe. Diane, or trip to Europe in March. Looking forward to your first year of listing. Yes, Karen, I mean, Kristen, I love that. Karen commented below. Britta's youngest graduates from high school. Taking a cruise to Paris and Normandy in November. Pam, retiring after a 35-year career. Nancy's looking forward to downsizing. Yes, Scrapinology, you told us it before. Your junior high school sweetheart that you guys just recently reconnected, right? Which that was so fun. I mean, what a cool thing. That is just so fun. You love to hear stories like that. There's just fun. All right. I'm pulling these off. So in the past, when I'm layering things like this, you've seen me pull out the highlighter tape, which the highlighter tape is really cool. It is a transparent tape that I use to hold a cluster of things like this together. And then I can pick it up as one because that tape is holding it all together. I can pick it up as one, then turn it over, put my adhesive on, stick it back down, and then pull off the highlighter tape. I cannot do that here. And we learned this last week after I tried. The reason I can't do that here is because I have a mixture, the papery again, the print shop papery is a mixture of paper things, like this is paper or cardstock, right? Oh no, that's from the die cuts. It's a mixture of paper things and then a mixture of these kind of translucent stickers. And the highlighter tape just sticks right to the translucent sticker and then you can't get the back off and then it's just weird. So I cannot do that. This guy got stuck under there. I cannot use that here. So I've just got to kind of re-piece all these together. And then I get frustrated because I'm like, wait a minute. I had that where I wanted it, and now it's not where I wanted it. So what happened? Oh, well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, Terry this year. She's looking forward to possibly seeing all 3 of her children getting engaged. 1 possibly even married. Well, that is exciting. Karen is decluttering. They're boys in their 30s and kind of slow at decluttering. Nope. On your own time, right? On your own time. On your own time. Okay, there's my little sticker there. And this guy, oh, also a sticker. Oh, Mara Lee attending not 1 but 2 Lizzie Lou retreats for the first time this year. Oh, I love that, Mara Lee. Are you attending one of the ones that I'm teaching at? They are fun. I tell you, Lizzie's retreats are a lot of fun. You guys, if you ever wonder where I'm teaching, there is a link on my website right up at the top that says coming soon. And that is kind of twofold. It at the top shows you what new products are coming soon, what new collections I'm bringing in from other manufacturers, what I have of my own coming out. And that's updated, you know, usually like every other week. And then where I'll be teaching in this at the bottom. And where I'll be teaching at the bottom of that page is where you can find out information about, well, anytime I'll be teaching. And then the like the Lizzie's retreats. Lizzie's retreats always sell out really quickly. All right, there we go. Yes, the Christmas one. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. They're all fun, but that's one of my favorites for sure. Oh, sure. Let's add one more. We'll add a yellow too. Judith, decluttering. This is what I say. when it comes to decluttering and when it comes to having unfinished projects. Some people get really sad that they have lots of unfinished projects. I say, oh my goodness, it's good to have unfinished projects because then you always have something to work on, right? Decluttering. You think about it, at least for me, my whole life, it's one big continuous circle like that, right? You start decluttering. It takes you so long. By the time you get done, it's time to start decluttering again, and you just keep going, right? Hi, Janelle. Janelle said, hi, Layle. So nice to catch you live for a change. Janelle's looking forward to retiring this year after 30 years at the same company. Oh my goodness, Janelle. That is huge. Congratulations. That doesn't happen a lot anymore, right? That is a long time at the same company. So good for you and congratulations on your upcoming retirement. All right, there we go. Things I'm looking forward to this year. I need to number these things. All right, I need to number them. And I always think I should use these and then I totally forget. So I actually re-showed these on Wednesday because I brought in some other new sticker books. And so I re-showed these and I'm like, oh my gosh, duh, I need to use these. The number sticker books or sticker tab or sticker pads or sticker tablets, whatever they are. 2,149 stickers, 12 sheets. These are linked in the description box of the video under the what I'm using. But you have, look at the colorways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 different colorways. Okay, 12 different colors. I think you have 6 different styles of numbers. That's one. That's one. Your circles, 1. Now, not only are numbers, they're 1 through 31. So they also work as your dates, right? Look at these. These are like little tiny circles. Great for numbering your lists, right? And then you have larger circles. Again, great for numbering your lists. So these are, I think, a gold mine. So if I want to, I think maybe I'm going to use, let's try, those little circles I think would be fun. I could use the little circles or I could use the numbers. Let's look. Let's just look. Let's get out our little tiny tweezers and see what we want to use. I think I may need to actually use these just regular old numbers because I have some things I need to write. I need a little bit more room for. Okay, there's number 1. Not the number 1. This is in no particular order. The first one is going to San Diego the last weekend in January for a girls' scrapbooking weekend. Yay! That's why I'm not here next weekend, okay? Sorry. Sorry, but that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm not going to be here next weekend. That's why we will not be listing together on the 28th of January because I will be playing. I will be playing. I will still be working. I'll be writing instructions on 1 or 2 projects, but I will also be playing catch up on many out the window spreads. So stay tuned. When we're together again, I'm going to show you all my out the window spreads that I did. I will also be working in my Wanderlust passport for our big trip that we took to the Oregon coast last year. And then I will also be working in my little A6 traveler's notebook for some of our other smaller trips. So yes, very excited about that. Debbie, yes, the ruler is from Print Shop. It is from the, I think it's the journaling, the die cut journaling. But yeah, you'll see it on the website. Okay, second thing. Let's see. Bringing Lily on full time and transitioning all order fulfillment to Lily. I need to spend more time working on my business and not in my business. I've known that for a long time. But you've got to get to the point where you have the right person. And now I've got to get to the point where I can take the time to do that, because right now I print all the orders, I pull all the orders, I give them to Lily, she packs the orders, and then I take them back, and then I do all the shipping. So I can't do it anymore. Can't do it. So I am looking forward to this year, that part very much, because I need to be focusing on only the things I can do, right? There's that focus word again, right? There's that focus word again. Another one. This is why we won't be together the first weekend in February. Going to Hawaii for Nick's annual business trip. Definitely one of the perks. We go to Hawaii every year, and it's business for Nick, and I tag along because, hello, Hawaii. That is the first weekend in February. I will be adding later today a header. There's already a header on my website. The header on my website says click for what's new. That header will be changing today. Nick Howard! Oh my goodness! Okay, hold on. I gotta finish this, and I gotta talk about Nick Howard. Oh gosh, I'm so excited. That's so fun that you're here. Oh yes. So there will be no shipping, friends. That happens between February 2nd and February oh my gosh, like the 14th, because I'll be gone and then it's the weekend. So there'll be a big header at the top of my website in red telling you that, but I think it's important that you know that, so that if you wait to order something during that time, then you will have to wait to get it. Okay, Nick Howard. Nick Howard is someone I've known for, oh my goodness, forever and a day. She and I met when I worked for some scenic route way back in the day. I don't know, probably Nick, just like Jessica, we probably met in like 2004. Nick is from New Zealand, and back then, because I don't know, Nick, I don't know if you still do these things, but back then she was an incredible designer. I invited her to be on our design team, and she said yes, and she could just knock it out of the park. I mean, like, unbelievably amazing. And then Nick, you stopped, I think, and I didn't see you or hear from, it just, like everyone, our people's lives move on. And then Nick turned into the most amazingly incredible bodybuilder, right, Nick? Like, when I saw those pictures, you just popped up in my feed one day, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, holy cow. And then one day, I get an order from Nick in my inbox, and then she sent me a message on Facebook. So it's very fun to reconnect with people. I was going to say disconnect, reconnect with people. So hi, Nick. Fun to see you here. KMC Stamper said, I loved scenic route papers and used many and many scrapbook pages years ago. Same. Nick said, I do a little bit of journaling, blushing, LOL. I did stop for about 10 years. Yes, I'm fitness industry now. Okay, I probably totally used the wrong term. Yes, fitness. You are a fit woman. Holy cow, are you fit? Oh my goodness. Okay, so yes, fun to have you here. Next one. There's a lot of travel. You guys, I've talked about this before. Nick and I both love to travel. Travel is a very important part of our lives, and so we make it a priority. Also, looking forward to this year, our rescheduled 25th anniversary trip to Europe. So, this year will be our 28th anniversary, meaning our 25th anniversary was May of 2020. And we had a very large trip planned to Europe, and obviously that didn't happen. So it is rescheduled for May of 2023. And we are very excited about that. So very much looking forward to that. All righty, let's see what else we have. I need some more numbers to move on to the other side. If you popped on after I started talking about this list that we're doing now is things I'm looking forward to this year. And I asked you guys to tell me what you were looking forward to in the chat, okay? I would love to know. What are you looking forward to? I mentioned we were going to do 3 giveaways today. And one of the giveaways was going to be live, meaning if you are in the chat and in a few minutes, I will just scroll up and wherever my finger stops in the chat is the person that wins the prize, okay? So let me show you what the prize is. It is National Squirrel Appreciation Day today, if you did not know. Okay, if you did not know that, it is National Squirrel Appreciation Day. I did not make that up. That is a thing. So this prize that I put together, of course, look it, is a squirrel prize pack. It's a Scatter the Squirrel prize pack, okay? So you have a fun little cinch sack, little like muslin cinch sack. And in there, you have a mechanical pencil that has Scatter on it. You have a Squirrel Squad sticker. You have a Scatter sticker. Those are both vinyl stickers. You have a, oh, this is when I need to take it off. You have a notebook with a matching pen that also matches the mechanical pencil. You have the Scattered Thoughts, Scatter the Squirrel stamp set. That was my very first stamp set. You have this little guy, which is like a little mini scatter, right? Your own little mini scatter. And then the last one, now I'm going to take it off. Now I am going to take it off and it is, hold on. Hopefully that didn't make a weird hole in there. Okay. And it's this, the Scatter the Squirrel enamel pin. Okay. So that is the 3rd prize for today. And that one I'm doing live. So that one, I'm going to put all these back in the little bag. That one is going to go to, make sure I get everything back in there. Someone will be sad if they missed one of those things, if they win it. And that one I'm scrolling up is going to Carla Gross. Carla, are you still here? Carla Gross, leaving next Saturday for a girls' trip to Aruba. Oh my goodness, can't wait. All-inclusive resort with lots of beach time. Resort, not reward. Resort with lots of beach time. Carla Gross. So, Carla, are you here, Carla? All right, I'm going to write Carla's name down because in case she's not here, then I have to find Carla. All right, but if you're not Carla, yay, Carla's here. Carla, send an email to laylebymail@gmail.com with your name and address, and in the subject line put winner, all caps, Scatter prize pack, and then I'll get that shipped out to you. If you're not Carla, because there's only one Carla, Christina Charles, can I make that as a kit to purchase? I absolutely can. Because what I can do is now I go to my other handy notebook, my little planner, and I need to write that down because if it's not in this one, then it's a problem. So let me just write here. Oh, I did that. Squirrel prize pack. Prize as a product on website. Okay, there we go. I will do that later this afternoon after lunch. Joe Disney, not sure what I am looking forward to right now, but can think about it. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes, and you guys, here's the thing. I realize that this can be a really hard list, right? We talk about hard things sometimes. I realize this can be a really hard list for some of us, some of you. Maybe you feel like you have nothing to look forward to. I would encourage you to maybe think outside the box. Maybe you're not traveling. Maybe you're not seeing family. Maybe it's a really hard time at work right now, or you're having a hard time personally. Maybe you're looking forward to the tulips blooming in the spring. Maybe you're looking forward to the second half of season 5 of Yellowstone. Maybe you're looking forward to talking to a friend on the phone next week. It doesn't have to be big things, right? Again, it's your list. Sometimes, like I said, I know something like this can be hard because if you feel like you have nothing fun to look forward to, step back and maybe just brainstorm, maybe just on a piece of paper. Like, what is it? Maybe you're looking forward to having pizza tomorrow night for dinner. That can be okay. It doesn't have to have this year. It can say things I'm looking forward to, right? So you don't have to steer away from things like this if it feels like it doesn't work for you. You could also add another little sticker here that said not, like, right? Not things I'm not looking forward to. Going to the dentist. Having a mammogram. I mean, got to do it, but maybe you're not looking forward to it. So you can kind of work with your lists. I always say, if it doesn't work for you, figure out how to make it work. Like, switch it around. Come up with something different. That'll work. Karen, you are my soul sister. Karen said, I am looking forward to pizza anytime. Same. Same. I love pizza. Love it. Doesn't make me feel good because of the gluten, but I love it. All right. Next one. A renewed focus. That focus keeps coming back in there. Focus to work on my business versus in my business. Okay. Number six. When we talk about our lists, and sometimes I'll get questions. Do I do all of my lists in one insert? It's just, for me, it's just kind of a rolling thing. So then whatever comes after this or next week, I just keep going and going and going. But you could have a whole insert of lists, things you're looking forward to this year, things you're looking forward to this month, things you're looking forward to next month, things you're looking forward to this spring, summer, winter, fall. So you could have a very concentrated, very specifically focused insert of things that you're looking forward to. That's just kind of an idea. All right, number 6. I am looking forward to this one. There's a lot of travel here, you guys. There's a lot of travel. It just is what it is. Again, joining Nick on another business trip. Joining Nick on the tail end of his Toronto business trip and spending time with Vicky and her husband, Rich. Vicky Booten, my dear friend Vicky. She lives outside of Toronto. Oh, thank you, Terry. 26 minutes, yeah. She lives outside of Toronto, in the Niagara area. And so Nick and Vicky's husband, Rich, have never met. I have met Rich many times. Nick has met Vicky many times. Our husbands have never met. Our husbands are incredibly alike. They both work in the same industry. They both have very dry senses of humor. They both golf a lot. Anyhow, we're very much looking forward to spending time with them. So that'll be fun. Another one is going to Denver to see Chris Stapleton in concert. Oh, I love me some Chris Stapleton. All right. So you guys, I am going to stop this list. I will finish this list up later, and we're quickly going to jump to the last list. So let me just get that 8 there. And we will jump to the last list. Our last list, then I need to adhere those into my insert, right? I better do that now because I'll lose one of these and then I'll be sad. So while I'm doing that, let's talk about our last list. Our last list, I'm calling On This Day. We did this list for the first time in December. And after doing this list, I thought, oh yes, this is another one of those lists that I want us to do once a month on this day. And you pick the day. You pick a day in the month, and you're basically just listing what you did. Okay, basically just listing what you did. I will show you that list from December. And every month when I do this, it won't be the same day every month. Every month when I do this, I will be using the same 3 products. All right, there we go. The same 3 products. So my December list, some of you were probably with me when we did this one. Here it is. Okay. I'm coming to your neck of the woods. Yes. I don't remember where the concert is, but I'm coming to your neck of the woods. It's not at Red Rock. I don't think. No, I know it's not. Okay. So every month when I do this list, I'll be using the same 3 products. A month die cut, a 4x6 paper from a 4x6 notepad that says today looks like this, and a chipboard number. So these I have linked in the description box of the video. Sometimes you guys say, could you please let us know in advance what lists we're doing? So that's harder than you could imagine, but here you go. We will be doing this every month. Here's the notepad. This is from Everyday Explorers. It has, I think, 50 sheets, but today looks like this. Those of you that use, if you're doing the 2023 year in review, Traveler's Notebook Project Kit with me, something like this would be a great thing to do in between your months because it's a snapshot. This is a little time capsule. This list is a time capsule. Think back. Like if I had a list like that from my grandmother where she just said, hey, January 19th, 1957. And that's what she did that day. Wouldn't that be cool? It's just kind of a little time capsule. So I am doing this for January 19th. As a little tip, one thing that I am doing, oh Lordy, Layle, I already got the 19 out. I remember now. And I have no earthly idea. Oh goodness. I remember I got it out yesterday and then I thought I can't put the 19 on my photo because people will think it's January 19th. They'll get confused. Now, would I have thought long and hard about where I put that so I make sure I remembered where I put it? Well, I just may need to add that one after we're done. Anyhow, if you're doing something like this with me, I am using the pad I already showed you. I am using the 2023 month die cut pack from Ellie's Studio, also linked also on my website. And then I am using the Cocoa chipboard numbers from Felicity Jane. So numbers 1 through 31. So this is perfect, right? I can do almost a full 3 years doing this month by month. One thing that I started doing on the back, look at, of the packaging, I wrote days used. So I know I've already used the 10th. I'm going to use the 19th today. So when I start thinking about doing this every month, I don't want to try to do the 19th because I've already used the 19th, right? Yeah, darn it. I have no clue what I did with that. All right, it's okay. We'll figure it out. I'll find it later. We'll at least get it started. So this is a 1-page list. When I did it in December, I made it a 2-page list. But I'm not going to do, these are always going to be 1-page, I shouldn't say always. At least this month for me, it's going to be a 1-page list. I'm not going to decorate kind of like I did over here, just a 1-pager. And it's a perfect time capsule, right? Perfect time capsule. So there is that. I need a piece of patterned paper. This, I'm going back to Stardust. That is what I had used on my first list. So this is the Stardust collection linked in the description box of the video. I thought that might be kind of fun. I love that rainbow. It is a horizontal rainbow, right? It's horizontal stripe, which is really nice when we're working in a traveler's notebook. If it was vertical, if it was like this, well, it wouldn't be tall enough, but let's just pretend. Then look at, I only get a couple of the colors. So I'm always big on horizontal rainbows because you get, or stripes in this case, because you get a little bit of all the pretty colors. So this guy I need to trim. We already know it's 8 because it's from a 6x8 pad. It's from the Stargazer pad. I want to trim that to 4 3/4. I trim to 4 3/4 because that gives me a same sized border all the way around when I go ahead and adhere that. And I need to round the outer corners. Oh, Diane, I hate that. Diane just said in the chat, she's been working on list number 2 for a while, for about an hour. She lost the page. She's checked everywhere near and around my desk and she can't find it. Diane, you know what usually happens to me? Because you guys tell me, you're like, it's under your notebook or it's under, you know, over here. So check over here. Maybe it's there, right? Maybe it's there. All right. So there's the start. And this is one of those lists that now makes it super easy, right? I don't have to do a lot of thinking because it's basically going to be the same thing every time. And that pad makes it super easy because it prompts me every time to write the same information, which is kind of fun because then it's consistent. This is another one that you could use and insert and only do these types of lists in this insert. Oh, whoops. I need to do that before I do that. You can see I'm using that my glue pen again. That's another right tool for the job. Because it would be a lot harder for me to get my little tape runner into all those little places. So I've got a couple of different, there's a ballpoint, there's a chisel tip, and then there's like a regular, like Think Fine or something like that that I have on the website. And there we go. Okay. Cute, cute, cute. Simple, simple, right? And you guys were like, yeah, right. We're going to be able to do this list really quick. I knew what we were doing. So yes, we will be able to do it quickly. And then, because I knew we were going to be doing this list for the 19th, at the end of the 19th, I sat down and I wrote down what I did. Okay? Easy peasy. And I have, let me look. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can put 10 things if you'd like on your list. Oh yeah, everyone's trying to help her. That was good. Maybe in between your other pages. Oh, I feel for you. I just know. I know it's horrible. I hate it when that happens. Oh, look, and if you wanted to see my sketch, look at there's my sketch. So easy. Only a 1 page and there's all the things. Okay. I will find the 19. Diane and I are like partners in crime. She can't find her list and I can't find my 19. She's going to find it and I am too at some point. Alrighty. So, let's make my list. I am going to pull out, I haven't used these in like a week. I don't think I used them last week either. I'm going to pull out the new Bullets and More stamp set. So this is one of, oh, you know what I think I forgot to say when we were working on our last list? The two prizes for today, not the one that was in the, that was a live one. One was the Focus stamp set, which I used on the first list. The other one is the All the Things stamp set that I used putting together that second list, okay? The All the Things. The one that I used for that stamp set, okay? 15 minutes, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm using my little stylus here. Stylus, and let's see which bullet we want to use. I really could use anything I wanted to, couldn't I? Things I'm looking forward to this year. How about, I think there's about 78 little bullets on here. Tons and tons and tons. What if we just do a little, what I'm thinking is once I get the 19 down, I'm going to need to put just something, a little something on there kind of to get it, you know, I don't know, something like that. Not to say that that's what it would be, but, oh, like maybe it's this one. That could go on my 19. So if I wanted, I could do a flower. Why don't we do a little flower? I will do a little flower. Let's do this one. So I'm taking that little tiny stamp, little tiny. All the bullet stamps are super tiny because you need them to be small, right? I'm taking the little stylus. I can place that stamp, that little tiny stamp on the end of the stylus. So the stylus is basically a little stamping block, right? But the nice thing about it, it is the length of like a standard pen. It's a little bit wider than a standard pen or pencil, but it's something that your hand is used to working with. Guess what? It's ambidextrous. It could work for right or left-handers. Actually, ambidextrous, you know what I meant by that, right? It can work for both. The beauty of this little stylus is that, oh, I need to pick a color. What if we do, maybe that one. I'm hurrying, you can tell I'm hurrying. I'm hurrying us along. Where are my swatches? Here they are. I mean, I kind of had them swatched before, right? I kind of did. Oh. Something like this could be fun down there too, that maybe the 19 goes on top of that. Maybe. We'll see. We'll figure it out. And this goes in there. We'll figure it out. We don't have to worry about that yet because we don't have the 19. Kitsch Flamingo could be fun. See, mint. I wish we had a mint. Wouldn't it be fun if we had a mint? It would. It would be fun. Or maybe like one of those greens. Let's look at the green. Evergreen bough. Oh, or maybe rustic wilderness. Oh yeah, it's really rustic wilderness, isn't it? Let's just do it. We're gonna do it. Rustic wilderness. Let's grab it. Here it is. And I have my stamp on the end of the stylus. This is how amazing that stylus is. Look how easy it is for me to do my little stamps. I had not primed that before. Usually with these little guys, I don't try to erase the tops of them just because they're so small. I'll just stamp it a bunch of times until it's kind of ready to roll. Alrighty, so I can pre-stamp all of these because I know there are going to be 10. I can also kind of rotate, change the orientation of the flower. Okay, there we go. And now I can write my list. So on my list is, and this is in a particular order because I started with, and I didn't write like get up, but I could have. Ship orders. Always, 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 every day. I needed to, or I didn't need to finish 3CC, that was 3 Craft Chicks, TN, Traveler's Notebook Design. That is an exclusive class I am teaching at their event in February. Swig. Nick went to Swig. He ran to UPS for me, Swig. And then I had a pink sugar cookie and a Dirty Diet Dr. Pepper. DDDP, a Dirty Diet Dr. Pepper. And then Nick's mom stopped by, visit with Carolyn. And then I did, worked on Saturday listing prep, what we're doing today. I always do that on Thursdays. And then, Dirty Diet Dr. Pepper, Pam. It is a diet Dr. Pepper, and the dirty is like a coconut flavoring. It's really good. Dirty Diet Dr. Pepper. All right, Saturday listing prep. That always takes, oh golly, you guys. I tell you, I bet that's a 4 or 5 hour endeavor. Between getting the flat lay all together, photographing it, editing the photo, doing the blog post, setting up the YouTube, sending out, then building the email, sending out the email, preparing all the list stuff, putting it on social. Yeah, it's a lot, but I love it. You guys know I love this. So Saturday listing prep, we had homemade ramen for dinner, which I'll tell you guys that story in a bit. Oh, Karen said, Karen's thinking it was mixed with vodka. No, not mixed with vodka, not that. Yeah, in the middle of the day, I had a pink cookie and some vodka. Although some days, right? Doesn't it? Some days it feels like you need a pink cookie with some vodka. Yeah. Wanda's been drinking lots of lemon water. Very good. Homemade ramen. I wrote instructions for that project up there. I hate writing instructions. Nick and I went on a night walk because we didn't have all of our steps yet. So nighttime, and it was snowing. It was lovely. We watched the Australian Open, tennis. Oh my gosh, lots of Americans. And then the last one was I finished my book. And then ... at 1 a.m. Uh, I like to read. The problem with reading, especially when you go to bed, is that if you're really into a book, you read really late. So I read really late. I just finished Mad Honey. And Mad Honey is a book. There's two authors. Oh my goodness. Jodi Picoult. And I don't remember the other author, but Jodi Picoult. I love Jodi Picoult. So there we go. Those are the things. So date. The date, I'm going to get out my little small date stamp. I have actually I have more than 2 roller date stamps on my website, but I have my small one. I'm going to use the small one, and I think that's what I used. I used that last time as well. So I'll do my little small one right there. January 19th, 2023. Now here's the thing, you guys. If you have the pad or want to buy the pad, great. If not, you don't have to have the pad. You don't have to have any of this to do this, right? You just write January, you write the things that you did, you write the date, and right? So the products that I use, or what I use, they're what I sell. I think they make things easier. I think they make things more fun for me, but you don't have to, right? You can just use what you have. There we go. Jan 19, 2023. Mood. The mood was, let's be honest, I was cranky. I was very cranky yesterday too. It's because I have lots on my plate. But here's the thing. I was saying to Nick, I'm like, I realize I have not lots on my plate. I have a lot of trips planned coming up. And so, yeah, that means I got to get a lot of work done before I can go on my trip. So cranky. Right? This is a list. Look at it. It's like they know us. It is a list. That's totally a list. Now, what I can do, because I'm going to have space right here, and I've got this space. One good thing from today. Before I fill anything out there, I need to look back to what I did here. I am putting my date right there. So really, I have no room in what I'm doing to write one good thing to write in that one good thing from today. What I can do, that little thing said, these are the days. That is a stamp set. That is a stamp set from my, also, gosh, I think you guys, I have used all but one of my new stamp sets today. That is from, this one, Highlights. So these are word strips. You guys know me and my word strips. I love to use word strip stickers. And so I thought, well, I'm going to just start doing my own stamps. So this will be one in a series. Perfectly imperfect, documented, life documented, the best of times, happy days ahead. Incidentally, those of you that bought the 2023 year in review kit, if you have looked at it yet, I'm just going to grab and show you something. These custom stickers exclusive to me, that Pretty Little Studio, I had Pretty Little Studio design for me. All of these words on the stickers, same words on the stamps. So that was by design. So you can have lots of those. All right, so I think what I'm going to put up here, I think I liked the perfectly imperfect, because that's just that day was perfectly imperfect, right? It was perfectly imperfect. All right, 12:51. I'm going to stamp this, and then we will say our goodbyes. And then later I will find the 19. I can't remember who it was, but Diane, was that you? Person that was missing their page. Did you found it? Oh yeah. Skipped a page in her book, just found it already adhered to the next 2-page spread. This getting older is for the birds. I agree. Getting older is for the birds, right? All right, perfectly imperfect. Now, I think what I will do, I'm going to use that same green. I'm going to use that same little green. And I have to test it. I'll just test it over here in my book. Oh, yes. It's good. These stamps, the letters are tiny. Well, because it's for word strip, right? Tiny, tiny, tiny. But they're so nice and fine and good. You'll see. I'll show you. Look at that. Look at that. Didn't that? It's like, forget the imperfect. It's like perfect. Nice and super crisp. Crisp, crisp, crisp. Can you see? There we go. Allison! Yay! Oh, my dear friend Allison. Allison and I met at a scrapbook store. Literally, probably like 22 years ago, maybe, right, Allison? Allison is another one I go way back with. I love her. I love my Allison. Okay, friends, there we go. All I need to do now, I will find my 19. So just envision, okay? I will find my 19. My 19 will go there, and I think I'll probably put like that little butterfly. That little butterfly I had was cute, and I'll probably put that there, and I'm going to call it good. So, yes, I am going to turn off the lights. The party's over. No, well, it is. Turn off the lights, and thank you, Terry and Colleen. You guys are so good about reminding me. Yes, the other thing, you guys, we are not together now until February 11th. Okay? Think back to my things I'm looking forward to list. Next weekend, I will be in San Diego area at a girls scrapbook retreat. Well, girls, I don't know. I call us girls. Women, ladies, whatever. Just a bunch of friends. And then the week after that, I will be in the sun on the ocean. Well, not on the ocean, but staring out at the ocean. Just picture me having a fruity drink in my hand because we'll be in Hawaii for Nick's work. So we will not be together again until February 11th. All right. If you're ever wondering the schedule, you can always find that on my blog, or you can find it on the Layle by Mail Facebook page or Layle by Mail Facebook group, the listing schedule when we're listing. Right now it's published through the end of March. Once we get into February, I will publish for April, May, June. Okay. So I'm trying to put the schedule out there 3 months, not 3 months in advance, but 3 months at a time. So you have a really good feel, those of you that like to plan things, that you know then when we're listing and when we're not. 2 giveaways today, don't forget. One is the focus stamp set that I used for my first list. The the second prize is the all the things stamp set that I used on my second list. So the way that you participate in the giveaways, leave a comment on the video once it's over, not in the chat. Once it's over, circle back, leave a comment on the video, tell me whatever you want, but I'd love to know something that you're looking forward to in 2023 this year, if you'd like to share that. If not, just leave a comment. And right before we start on Saturday, February 11th, I will draw those 2 winners and I'll announce them during our listing session. We have a couple classes scheduled for the end of this month. Between the couple of days that I am home, that is the February setup for the Winter Traveler's Notebook Kit, and that is also the 2023 year in review. So if you purchased either or both of those, just know that those are end of this month. Emails have been sent out for those, so look for those in your email. And if you don't see them in your email, look for them in your spam or junk folder, because some reason, I don't know, some of you get things in your spam or junk folder from me and then others don't. I think that's it, you guys. Oh, last thing. There will be no shipping happening between the 2nd and I think like the 13th because I'll be gone and then there's that weekend. So no shipping between the 2nd and 13th. If you want to place an order, you need something, make sure you get it. Like don't send your order in like the 1st at like 11 p.m. Okay. Because you know me, then I literally get up early and I get those shipped out before I leave because I just feel bad because I would want it before I went on my trip too. So yes, if you're ordering, get your order in as early as you can, okay? Nick will appreciate you because that's what drives him crazy about me, one of the many things. But I got to go look in the bathroom to make sure I don't have little holes in my shirt now. Okay, friends, thank you. Thank you for joining me. If I do not see you in one of the classes over the next couple of weeks, January 11th or February 11th, that's when I'll see you again. So please be safe. Be happy, be healthy. You can go back and catch up on old lists. One of the things I will do before I leave town, I need to add the last 3 months to the 2022 list of lists. So you will have the 2020 list of lists, the 2021 list of lists, and the full 2022 list of lists. Both 20 and 21 are already out there, and already the first 9 months of 2022. Those are linked in the description box of the video. So if you still want a list while I'm gone, you have lots and lots, hundreds of list topics to kind of work with. I know, Terry. Goodbye, my friend. Go to lunch. Oh, it's 12:57. I still have like 3 minutes. We can chat for 3 minutes. Okay, I'm going to look at the chat really quick just to see, just so I can say goodbyes to Joanne said, thanks for a great session. Happy Squirrel Appreciation Day. Yes, happy Squirrel Appreciation Day, everybody. Karen said goodbye, peace out. Monique said thank you. Karen said peace. Colleen said thanks, Layle. It's always fun spending Saturday with you in the Squirrel Squad. Yes, you guys know I love our Saturdays. I love this. I love being with you guys. I love being social. I love being able to play because this is the only time, honestly, this is the only time that I play. Everything else is work. Even if I'm designing like a new project kit, it's still work. This is play. So I love that you guys give me an opportunity to play. Even if you didn't, I'd probably still be here. I don't know, I could have one person hanging out with me here on YouTube and I'd just be playing and I'd be chatting to one person, which would be just as lovely as it is when there's 10 of you, 100 of you, when there's 3,000 that watch it after the fact, whatever it is. I just love it. So thank you for joining me, you guys. And if I don't see you around the interwebs between now and February 11th, I will see you here on February 11th. And we'll be doing some, well, I already know what lists we're doing. When I say we'll be doing some Valentine-y, not love though, just don't worry, don't be scared. But we'll be doing some lists about things that you love. Doesn't have to be people, it can be things. So just kind of heads up on that. All right, friends, adios. See you later.